All right, we are back. Straight talk, no chase. This is Trip Simpson in the building, along with Asmin Smith, Kirk Keys, and Cosby Digital.
What up?
Hey guys.
What it do?
So dry. What the hell?
Oh shit, man! Y'all niggas hilarious, man. So, what's today's date?
The
Nobody.
27th.
Today is the 27th of October, 2020. We are a week away from the biggest election we've had in 4 years. Got a lot going on, a lot of different topics we want to cover tonight. We're gonna do a little bit of politics and shift it a little more lighthearted this week. We've been going nonstop with the politics for the past few months, and you guys pretty much know all of our stances on everything. So there's no need to keep beating the dead horse. Nonetheless, shit still keeps popping up. So that being said, first I want to talk to Kirk. You were in Colorado this week, right?
Yes.
How was that? I'd love to hear about that.
Yeah.
Colorado was cool. That's my second time going. So, I mean, you know, you do the things you do when you're in Colorado, but outside of that, I learned that I really can't take that air up there. Like, it's a noticeable difference. The breathing and everything. So like, I can't do it. I traveled I think it's the whole altitude situation. Like my nose, it kind of just be like, I don't know how to explain it. But it's a weird feeling. It's like dry. It just feels like dry air.
Extra activity.
Kind of give you a headache and all of that. I mean, but you do the same. If you do the same thing everywhere you go, then you should feel the same everywhere you at.
I hear that. I definitely hear that. We'll be there for like a week.
Nah, I was only there for a couple of days. I went to Texas after that to visit family.
Oh, okay.
I was Texas.
Went to Houston, went to Austin. My first time going to both of those places, and I've had family in both of those places for a while. Yeah, so it was good to see. I really like it. I like Texas. I might try to move down there. That's a good spot to be.
Texas, I love Houston.
When they mapped out Texas, they were thinking right. The way they do build communities and neighborhoods out there, the highways, the speed limit 75 miles per hour, everybody going 90 in the fast lane. It's
Not everybody
like
90 in the fast
lane. It's a party on the highway.
I like San Antonio, I like Houston, and I like Dallas.
I haven't been to San Antonio. I've been to Dallas. I like Dallas too. I like all three that I've been to so far. So
sure. Maria, you got some new things popping this week.
Yeah, I got a lot of new, exciting things that I started. Started back with my classes, so in the books. Just got a new job, so yay for me. Got through with the clearance, so.
Don't say your job on here.
I'm not. That is why I just said I just got the clearance and just got a new job. Other than that, everything else been good. You know, went to Atlanta for a little bit.
How was that? It
was cool. It was insanely, but people had to wear masks, so.
Yeah, but I mean.
It still was lit. Yeah. I was sad that Folly's closed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. For sure. Cosby Digital, what are you pushing and peddling this week?
Look at them glasses. Hey, yeah.
Niggas always peddling something.
If you mean my entrepreneur endeavors, yes, I do have several entrepreneur endeavors that are ongoing at any given moment. Actually, I do have something coming up that is new. We're doing a headshot happy hour for all my professionals.
he knew that was coming.
He's starting already.
He's been on the Remy Martin 1738 early guys.
We're almost to the label too.
So
wow, yep.
So anyway, we're doing a headshot happy hour with my brother Sam Johnson, 3 Photography. It's a professional networking event for entrepreneurs and professionals that need new headshots, but don't want to have to book a private session with the photographer because they can get pretty pricey. And you also have an opportunity to network with other entrepreneurs in your field or outside of your field to, get business done. The only way to get things done, you got to get with other people that are moving and shaking and doing great things. So we're doing the headshot happy hour, $75 if you need a headshot. And that's people who know are in the photography game. That is a great price, especially for my partner's rate. He charged like $200 something damn dollars for a picture. Yeah. Who knew?
Can I just go and drink?
Yeah, and come and network. You don't have to. You need a headshot though.
Oh no,
right.
I'm good.
You absolutely need headshot.
If they need help giving headshots.
Oh gosh. I don't even know what button to push. I don't even know what button to push.
His only headshot is probably his picture from the fire department.
Like Tom Selleck.
with his suited and booted uniform. You actually should come and get a headshot. You got several endeavors between the podcast or businesses where you actually would need a headshot that you don't have.
I know nobody can see my face.
You got a bunch of goofy ass looking pictures floating around the internet.
Bro.
You might as well get a good one.
Listen.
You think you Ghost just because you light skinned? You don't even have a beard like Ghost.
As far as business goes, my approach to business is nobody needs to know what I own or what I control.
You have an Instagram, right?
Fair.
Oh yeah.
So that means you should have a good
picture
fine. On your Instagram.
I'll do one for Straight Talking on Chase.
Yeah.
That's about the only thing I would want people to know I own. But other than that, don't even worry about it.
You know, you say things like that, make them go look up. Well, what if he keeps saying that? What the fuck else does he got?
Hey, they can look up whatever they want to look up. They ain't gonna find me.
Well.
Boom.
Oh yeah.
And some shots. Look.
So, okay. First topic of the day, we got to talk about this nigga, P Diddy.
Formerly known as Puffy.
Yeah, I mean,
Shout out to Diddy.
first thing first, like what happened to all these alleged gangster Negroes from the 90s? And where did they turn this soft? Did anybody see that interview he did with Charlamagne the God?
I thought it was a great interview, actually.
I mean, I thought it was pretty.
Puffy's never been like a gangster though.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
he
been a
just
gangster.
hung with them, supposedly.
Really? No.
He
I feel
started
like
an
he's
East Coast,
always
West
been-
Coast feud.
No, that wasn't a gangster. No.
He just danced around though, all in the
Right.
videos.
That's all he was. No, I
Take
never.
that, take that.
I respect Puffy.
I like
when Puffy
Puffy's
son had a problem at school. He went to see the coach and hit him with a kettlebell.
You right,
That's
yeah,
gangster
yeah.
to me.
Oh wow.
Let him come see you.
I
I
didn't
forgot.
know
You
that.
right. Did he?
I
do
Puffy
that
can't.
stuff.
Puffy smacking people. Puffy can
But
conduct the
nonetheless,
business
that's
like
not-
a grown man.
That's just respect though. That's not gangster.
But to me,
Yeah.
that's a gangster. You command respect. You give respect. You put
Yeah.
people on. You make money. That's the definition of a gangster to me.
I'll tell you what. Let's play the clip.
Okay.
I got it right here. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Got the
Now,
audio for you here. We don't want to get any more.
If
fucking
Trump
trouble.
gets elected, I really do believe in my heart there'll be a race war. That's why this message is not just to black people. You know what I'm saying? This message is to everybody. You know, this man is really trying to turn us against each other and put us in a situation. America messed up. Me and you've been talking for a minute about, chopping it up and some real talk, you know what I'm saying, where it's not for the whole social media effect.
This is gonna get
like
us
when I
blocked.
look at the
This is gonna get us blocked
videos of
somewhere,
like,
too.
I mean, it was just audio.
Malcolm Martin, Stokely, you know what I'm saying? I wish I could have
Music
seen
video, I
a
feel
black
like
black man conversation. I couldn't have talked to nobody about what we're gonna talk about but you. You know what I'm saying? That's a testament to your journalism. Man, you're an inspiration to me, bro.
I want to see where you at. I want to
Yeah.
see where you at. You know, you sparked a crazy conversation when you told everybody to hold their
Listen to the whole
vote.
shit.
Yeah.
I want to see where you at.
Puffy about to break out and dance because I feel like
A
that's
couple of months I told everybody hold their vote hostage. A lot of things have gone on since then. None of us expected. I think this president has done a great job of rattling America. When you move in fear, you don't have any leverage. The way I felt before is the way I still feel. Things have got too serious of a point.
What?
Seeing what's going on,
Is he
white
high?
men like Trump
Gotta be high.
need to be banished. That way of thinking is real dangerous. This man literally threatened the lives of us and our families
It does sound like somebody.
about going to vote.
Stand back and stand by.
Stand back and stand by.
Yeah.
We're in a war. We're not taking this like it's a war. We taking this like, oh, we're in a presidential election. No, we're in a war of love versus hate.
Okay, stop right there. We don't have to go any further. We don't have to go any further. So this man went from hold your vote hostage until they commit to something for us to we're in a war versus love versus hate. That's the most pussified shit I've heard from a grown ass man in a long time. But I won't go off my rant first. I'd like to start with Cosby Digital to get your take on it.
I knew that was coming. And I felt like you played the clip selectively instead of playing.
I played the first 5 minutes.
No, you jumped it. I watched it earlier, so that wasn't the first 5 minutes.
Did I jump anything?
Yes, you did.
I didn't skip anything.
I don't know what source you played it from.
Revolt TV.
But that was not the clip started off. It started off him explaining why.
No.
He changed his mind.
They did a preview first.
Yeah.
They started off with him saying he feared the race war. Then they cut to the beginning.
I watched it.
All right, well, I didn't skip it.
Well, anyway, in the clip, in the entirety of the video, which I implore everybody to go watch, he talked about why he had a change of heart. Right, I think people getting new information have leeway to change their mind, and this is something I've been talking about on the show since we've been having this debate, Biden versus Trump. Neither one of them are great choices. But when we look at what would Biden's impact be to America, Black America, where we're dealing with in general versus Trump's impact, I think Trump's negative impact would be exponentially worse. The coronavirus is a prime example of how it could have been exponentially worse, and we're not out of it. So this election matters. People's lives is on the line. Number one, with just the coronavirus pandemic. Number two, I always talk about the environmental regulations, certain regulations that the Trump administration, they're old white men that are going to die for one generation. They don't care about their kids. They don't care about the next generation. Anything good that a Democratic administration put in previous, whether it's clean air standards, clean water standards, drilling, for anything dealing with that, they don't give a fuck about. They're about unbridled greed and they don't give a fuck about the environment. Two, we've seen dealing with the courts, like, how are we going to be moving forward with the courts? The Democrats have an ability to actually expand the Supreme Court, which I hope they do when they win the next election. If Trump wins, that's not going to happen. And decisions that are made in the next 4 years under a conservative Supreme Court can last the next 30, 40 years, past our lifetimes into our children's lifetimes. So if we really look at what issues are on the table, Trump's being in office can cause exponential damage. And when it comes to his actual plan of starting a Black political party, that's something I've talked about on this show since day one, that we need other political parties. Why I didn't vote Republican or Democratic, I voted Green, because I feel like we need another party. Now, if he can establish a Black party that all Black people can get behind, Republican or Democrat or independent, that has a Black agenda, a serious Black agenda that I really can get behind, I'll be all for it, because the only way forward to me is the establishment of another party or fund one of the third parties that automatically exist. So if we got to look at people who are at the forefront of culture and who have the money to actually do it, he's one of the people.
Okay.
Did you see the
Revolt Summit?
Did you see the Revolt Summit? Do you have $50 to $100 million to invest in any cause right now?
Did you see the Revolt Summit?
Answer the question. Because Diddy has.
Okay.
Has Diddy put his money where his mouth is?
But no, he hasn't.
He's funded a political party.
What political party did he fund?
The Black Party. The shit he just talking about he launched.
Who's running that under the Black Party?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
But has he put his money where his mouth is?
Can I highlight something right quick? You see how you giving all of this leeway for Diddy while he's coming up with all these examples, but you don't be doing the same thing for Kanye though.
Because Kanye is proving he's a hypocrite, unbridled
and that's
hypocrite.
That's exactly what Diddy just did.
That's
exactly what Diddy just did.
He literally just flip-flopped.
So it's a difference if you flip-flop, but then you don't have a solution. He came with an actual solution, which was my solution all the time, which why I thought Ice Cube had no leverage, right? If you actually have a plan to make something happen, if a prominent African-American like Diddy is 10 times as prominent as Ice Cube.
I don't think anybody's plan is any different. You just like that plan more. You just like that plan more. They all came out with a plan.
I think the problem is Black people don't have a serious home. He echoes some of the sentiments you echo on this show every single week.
I agree 100% with
that Black
Diddy.
people don't have a true place. We get passed around like a political football, but when it's time to really discuss Black issues, we are not discussed. He mentioned the presidential debate that just happened that he said Black people were not brought up at all, and he was hurt by it. And he figured out his only way to really affect change, which was to start and fund a political party. So in my mind, that's something I've been talking and preaching about for once I got my understanding of American politics. That's something I recognized needed to happen. That's why I voted for the Green Party.
He just made a statement that said white men like Trump need to be banished. So you mean to tell me that white men like Biden don't also need to be banished?
Right.
So
no, hold on.
But then you're parsing hairs because you're saying
they all need to be disbanded and banished. They all do.
But he didn't make an equivocation. He was talking about.
I mean,
Trump.
that was definitely an equivocation. He basically said, "Fuck Trump, go vote for Biden," which is not what he was saying at first.
So
at first you're saying,
and without getting anything,
right?
He switched up.
And
without anything changing,
at first he was saying it's dangerous if we don't get an agenda.
That's the only reason why I'm
flip flop.
So
and like you said, it looked like somebody had a gun to his head.
Yeah,
if he flip flop with no solution, I would be 100% on board with you guys, 100%. But when he changed his stance, he came with a solution that I'm behind. He started and funding a political party for black people with black activists, black candidates, and he also explained why we need to have a political party. And he explained something very important that you guys preach about all the time. Well, you specifically. Understanding it's not just about the presidential race. He talked about we need to pay attention to who's running for school board, who's running for alderman, who's running for councilman, which things black people don't pay attention to on a regular basis. He's saying that's going to be the linchpin, the gravity, the major point of the party is to educate people how to vote down ballot.
So what you think about the timing of it?
That he said was flip-flopping on what he said earlier this year when he said we need to get something for our vote.
You flip-flop on your support for Ice Cube because he got new information and he decided to get with people who to better his plan, correct?
But I tell you why I flip-flopped on the show we did about Ice Cube before any of this Ice Cube shit got popular. I said what Ice Cube needs to do is get with other leaders who have skin in the game when it comes to getting a black agenda, which he did. He reached out to Derek Hamilton. He reached out to Antonio Moore. He reached out to these people and then added our claim to his new claim. And he actually redid his plan with Antonio Moore. So what I'm saying, and I said that he should do that in the show, but that first plan that he had and what he was saying, no, that wasn't a good plan.
Yeah,
the sentiment was great, and I said that, but it wasn't a good plan. Now, what he did after the fact and how he stood up to all of these followers, right, and all of these people that are telling us that we have to vote for Biden. Like, I've been seeing some real disgusting shit. Now, I don't really agree with 50 Cent's reasoning for vote for Trump. I think it's kind of selfish. However, when I saw his ex-girlfriend, Chelsea, the girl from the Chelsea Late Show, come out and say, hey, 50, you're black. You need to vote for Biden? Bitch.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you to tell a black man who he's voting for? Like,
and we all know Biden's history.
That's the energy that I get from white liberals. Like, we're just supposed to vote for y'all. Nah, motherfucker, we're not supposed to do shit. You're supposed to compensate us for 50 years of unwavering support, and you haven't done it to this point. So at this point, myself, along with a lot of other black people at this point, are ready to just let the whole place burn down.
Would rather watch it burn.
Did Diddy praise
about watching shit burn?
Did he praise Joe Biden at any point in his interview?
He did not praise Joe Biden, but it's the simple fact that you're now telling us to give him our support.
Right. That's what he's implying.
He
didn't say that.
And Joe Biden, to this day, has not specifically stated what he's going to do for our community. And until he does that, he's got a couple days left. And if he doesn't do that, it is what it is.
And Diddy was really smart. He explained that. He's like, man, black people got caught with their pants down. They got caught in a situation where they caught between a rock and a hard place.
It's not really that. It's not really that hard. It's just
but this is what I'm saying. He came with an actual solution. So let's say November.
He didn't really come. He's pontificating. Just
so
like to
start.
He said we need to start a political party.
Have you?
All right, nigga.
Have you put?
What's the basis of the party? The party?
They have all of that. Look on the website. He mentioned the website. They have all of that.
I'm
not familiar.
Can I talk?
I'm not familiar enough with the actual website, like the content on the website, because I browsed it today. I ain't gonna lie, I browsed it. But at the same time, anybody who's willing to commit millions of dollars, commit to putting people together to
Trace the
start a
money.
political
Trace the
party.
money.
He put his skin in the game. If you put your money up, that's your skin in the game. I can't fault anybody who said who wants to start a black political party.
He put up $100 million and we don't even see no motherfucking candidates.
Who said $100 million?
Did he say that?
I didn't say.
Put up hundreds of millions.
I said millions of dollars. I didn't say $100 million is a lot.
He put up $1 million.
I don't know how much money.
Nobody knows.
Now,
He
I
just
know it's in the
saying- he just
millions.
saying-
I
put
think
up
he
some
spent
money.
$2,000 on their website.
You wouldn't even know. Yeah, you wouldn't even know what he did for real.
Well,
But
and
at
the
the end of the
article I
day,
read,
real
it
quick,
said millions. So
I just want to point out,
They didn't give a
Cohen,
specific number.
Sometimes people might actually agree with you. I feel you. Diddy should start a political party. We're not the only people that have said that on this podcast tons of times. That's the move. That's the first move. That's the chess move. What I'm complaining about is how when other people make moves, granted, it's not this specific move. They make moves, and all of these are they're not just for our community, honestly, whether we realize it or not. They are, because it's futuristic thinking, and it's thinking and aligning with what needs to happen as far as like making this world a better place. However we do it, it's ways we don't even think some of these things are possible because the government doesn't even attempt to do it, and it actually stifles us into believing that none of these things can happen. Neither here nor there though. People are actually implementing plans. Same way Trip switched up when Ice Cube, he found out Ice Cube did a little bit of research and didn't just come out with some BS. But at first we shouldn't even listen to celebrities. So everybody is putting a notch forward, and then he finally puts this notch forward. And what I'm saying is, you just specifically agree with this notch. It's not saying that other people haven't done a specific effort in their own right to try and push this community forward. Everybody's attempting to push their community forward in their own right. And I don't know if y'all also heard Kanye's recent interview that came out this week too, but he talks about some of them things on that joint, and we'll probably talk about that next podcast because it's not even relevant right now.
I didn't even know he had an interview.
He does, and that's my whole point. He does, Dave Chappelle does, a lot of people are talking right now, and we specifically only talking about Diddy, and he got some relevant points too, but I'm just thinking about the timing. Why is it not a problem with the timing of all of this? Because I've been said this should happen, but it should have been happening at the top of the year when we all could have been like actually weighing in on where we should place this vote right here, right now, and the reasons why. And being as though it came a week before the election, why not just wait till next week after everybody decides whatever they want to decide based on the information that we currently have on these candidates? And once this is selected, then roll out what we need to be doing for these next 4 years so that we can be prepared in 2024, which is exactly everything that Diddy's talking about. But the timing is bad. Yeah, honestly, because he went from let's not sell our vote to all of a sudden we selling our vote because he's scared.
And that's what I got out of it. It looked like he was scared. And
nothing changed. Nobody gave us anything different than they gave us when he made that original statement. It's just all of a sudden he's scared, and so now we switching up. And I don't see why we're switching up all of a sudden a week out, because what he's talking about doing, we can't do in a week.
I think he got some more political education, right? The hold your vote strategy at the 11th hour isn't really a smart political strategy.
It is.
Because number one, it's not, because you still don't have leverage.
Exactly.
If you don't have enough people on board with the hold your vote movement, it still has no leverage, right?
You know why it does have
because
leverage?
the people who think they just gonna get it for free don't get it.
If you don't get at least
whether it's from everybody or not,
of the eligible black voters to come out and vote for the Democratic Party, they will lose. And I guarantee you,
it's just like everybody would need to boycott the NFL.
They probably won't even reach 50%.
They were talking that same hold your vote shit for Joe Biden in the primaries, and that theory was disproven. So at that point, I looked at how they voted in the primary to get him over top of Bernie Sanders.
They did. So what? The reason why that's apples and oranges is because the Democratic Party is full of people who are Democrats who are going out to vote. So they're already a part of that machine. These are already people indoctrinated into the Democratic Party. So if you're talking about the Democratic primaries, you're talking about people who are already set that they're going to vote for a Democrat. So they're going to go with whoever the fuck Nancy Pelosi puts on the goddamn pedestal. Whoever Nancy Pelosi tells, what's that goddamn bootlicker in South Carolina, the senator? What's his name? Clive something.
Clyburn?
Clyburn, yeah. When Clyburn goes out and invites you out for ribs and fish, it says, "Oh, good old Joe's a good guy." Them Negroes
right, so
who are already indoctrinated in the Democratic Party in the South went out and voted for him. That's all that happened.
Who is he telling them to vote for president?
Who?
Who is he Clyburn telling them to vote for president?
Joe Biden.
So the same people who went out and voted for him in the primary are going to go out and vote for him.
Here's the problem that you're going to have. A lot of people don't even participate in the primaries. And the biggest, and I've said this a bunch of times, if the Democratic Party cannot ignite the black vote, they will lose.
Are you familiar with
every time they can't do it?
Are you familiar with the early voting numbers? How they looking right now?
I don't know.
At historic numbers. So that thing you're talking about, the Democratic Party didn't have to do it. Trump messed up so bad, so fucking bad that we got almost 15 million votes already in early voting. And probably by the end of the week, gonna be at 20 million votes.
Okay, but
in
you're talking
early voting.
But there's two sides to that coin. A lot of people can't wait to go out and vote for him.
But traditionally, and I've said this on the show a lot of times too, as the voting populace goes up, Republicans lose. The more people that vote, that's why they don't do get out the vote. They do voter suppression. It's a reason that's their strategy. The more people vote, it tends to be Democratic Democratic.
I'll say this: we are definitely in a very unique election year. Number one, because of this virus, and number two, because of matter of fact, I think number one, just because of this virus. This virus has pretty much made everything weird.
Yeah,
I mean,
Trump would have to me would have had a much better chance of winning.
If Joe Biden wins this presidency, he knows good and well. See, here's the smart thing. Even if he still wins, right? He knows, because they're going to be able to see the voter turnout. He'll know that he has a low black voter turnout. If he wants to stay for another 4 years, he's going to have to fix that.
Exactly why it's important to start the political party right now, not wait till after. Start right now to let them know what it is.
But to be fair, niggas really, for the past 3 years, niggas been saying, no tangibles, no vote. It's been a movement.
So who has put money where their mouth is and started a political party?
I'm not talking about black celebrities per se. I'm just talking about
anybody has put their money up and started a black political party.
So, me personally,
Jay Morrison.
I don't think Jay Moore. Please, man. Well, I don't even want to get on that joker.
That's that ain't no political party.
Jay Morrison.
What is it? It's called the Black.
That's the toast. That's a real estate fund.
Yeah, that's a real estate fund.
Listen,
and
he needs to work.
He started a political party too.
He needs to get a legal party before he
it,
goes
that's
to
when I
fucking
learned
jail
that
for
y'all ain't
fraud and all those
fuck with
He
people.
seems like he's a Joanna the scammer though.
Hold on,
Yeah.
I'm not fucking with Jay Morrison at all.
I know y'all.
I wouldn't buy a biscuit
real
from
picky.
that nigga.
I know y'all real picky until y'all learn something new.
What I'm saying is,
it's called the Black Rights Party.
as far as a black political party goes,
Diddy literally stole Jay Morrison's lane just with a bigger platform.
are you familiar with what Jay Morrison is doing right now?
I'm talking about with the Black Rights Party and all
Right,
that.
but
Yeah,
you-
I know with everything
You
else.
can't have a
I'm
black
hip.
rights party if
I'm hip
you
'cause y'all be
ripping off
I know. I'm hip with y'all
You
talking
ripped
about.
off 15,000
But what I'm just saying is,
You ripped
because he knows that he has that lane to steal. That's all Diddy just did.
At least
took the rights off the
at
name and
least
everything and
Diddy-
said Black Party.
I feel like you can't say that. 'Cause at least Diddy,
That's all I'm saying.
Diddy was honest.
I'm not saying that like Jay
Diddy-
Morrison
Diddy-
deserves the
Oh,
credit.
I'm
I'm
saying,
saying
like,
Diddy
goddamn.
just knows that he has that disclaimer and it was like, all right, I can take that same
But
as
when
that
you say
shit
black
and do
political
it.
party, like, are you saying naming a party and pushing candidates under that party?
Yeah.
So I think that's a bad idea.
How so?
I don't think it'll work only because of our population. I think what works is the leverage that we have to sway the vote. A black political party looks good, it looks great, but it's not going to go anywhere.
But this is the thing, you can create alliances once you build a party. That happens in other countries all the time, where one party aligns with another party to serve one specific interest. Like if you look at
If you look at something like the Libertarian Party, right?
Yeah.
The Libertarian Party, they are deep, right? But their candidates never win. But a large part of the Libertarian Party pretty much votes Republican.
yeah.
As long as the Republicans give in to what the Libertarians want.
So I think they're doing a different model. Like if we talk about like maybe
You're talking about that type of party.
no, like Germany, you gotta look at countries who have legitimate multiple parties, right? If you look at like Germany, right? when the fascist parties got together, it was like the Golden Dawn got together with the Conservative Party, and they actually like swayed and won elections. The Golden Dawn Party was a small party; they just got in, but what they did, they built alliances with other parties, just like the Tea Party did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And built an alliance within the Republican Party, which brought us all the way to this Donald Trump era that we are in right now.
Which I think is a good idea.
Yeah.
But the Tea Party, there's no nigga that says, yo, I'm with the Tea Party. You know what I'm saying? The Tea Party is a voting bloc that backs candidates who bend to their will. So if you're talking about that type of black political party, I'm with it all day.
But this is the thing. The Tea Party ran candidates against traditional Republican candidates and beat them. So if you looking at that model, the Black Party can do the same thing. If we got if we had a Adrian Fenty or Anthony Williams running for mayor, and he's just a damn plutocrat, just about the money, and we wanted to run a good candidate against him. Let's say Kurt Keys wanted to run for mayor, and the Black Party would back Kurt Keys to run against him, fund him, campaign for him.
I can agree with you there. I can agree with you there.
So if that's going to be the model going forward, and I actually have someone who can put some bread up, like who can throw 20 at it and raise another 20 or 30.
A whole bunch of people that's going back.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
it has the cultural impact that he has, and I give him credit.
How he just did it with the coronavirus,
and I give him credit
with his family.
I give him credit because he even talked about how he got played by the Democratic Party in this particular interview. How he said he campaigned for Vote or Die all the way back in 2003, and he's like, I've done politics, and I seen how I went out and campaigned for these people. They made me all these promises and turned around and stabbed me in the back. And since I learned from this is my next step. So I respect the fact that he even acknowledges the mistakes that he's made politically beforehand, and this is where he's at with it. Anybody who can do that lets me know that they're a thinking person.
Okay.
They're looking at what has happened.
That sounds great, but in theory, though, you're still telling us to give away our vote for nothing.
He's not. He's saying, black people, we fucked up. We are where we.
Hold on. How did we fuck up?
We did.
How? What did we do?
Haven't made a decision.
We didn't fuck up.
We
didn't fuck up. White women fucked up. Hispanics and Asians all fucked up because their votes are overwhelmingly for Trump. We're giving Democrats 90+% of our votes. So we didn't fuck anything up.
You know you can't have it both ways. You can't support.
Didn't fuck anything
You can't
up.
support the hold your vote movement and then then not hold us accountable for not holding our vote.
Movement.
Nah,
you can't have.
But we're talking about two different things though. 4 years ago versus right now.
I support the hold your vote movement fully. But what I'm saying is the black people that did go out and vote overwhelmingly voted for the Democratic Party.
So do you agree with them for doing that?
I don't, but at the same time, it's
so that's what he's saying. We put ourselves in a fucked up position because we voted 90% for the Democratic Party with nothing to show for it.
But you're at the same time you're asking us to do that again.
But his argument is,
and that's where I'm like, why?
His argument is we are where we are right now.
And let's do it again.
Right now.
Let's do it again.
Keep on going down the motherfucking road.
This is the choice that we have.
So hold on,
right
because now is a good intersection point. Hold on, hold on. Because now let me talk. Hold on.
I don't think it was that bad.
No, because this brings up my timing point. Yeah. So when I was talking about timing, let's get back to it. If Trump wins, no matter what, in 4 years, you have to have a new president. The way that they've made this shit happen says that in 4 years, he can't do it anymore. So no matter what happens, the Republicans have to put somebody new in front of you. The Democrats have to put somebody new in front of you. If you want to see something different happen, let those people that chose him 4 years ago continue to have him for 4 more years, because they have to put somebody in front of you that if we actually organize now, based off of everything Diddy's talking about and all these people that's going to listen to him, we're going to get some money, all of that stuff, because he can rally, yeah. So if he can do that over the course of these next 4 years, then whoever actually backs whatever he's able to actually successfully accomplish, that's where all our votes go, because they're doing exactly what we asked. If you let Biden get in right now and he gets in here and does his little thing for 4 years, it makes everybody fall back to sleep, makes everybody not care about what's going on that happened right now for these last 4 years, and then everybody's lulled back to not caring, and we don't even get that done in the next 4 years because you don't put anything in front of them because everybody forgets that we even said we was going to do this. And you can give us a whole lot more credit than you want to and pretend that we going to keep this all going because everything's all, hunky-dory and cool and like now we're awake. But nah, dog, if you get back Joe Biden and he lulls you to sleep with something that we think is going to help us and it ends up not helping us because they're always playing chess while we playing checkers and they 16 years ahead and know how you going to come back 10 years, 15 years from now talking about, dang, that thing we wanted because it was going to help us do this right here, but it wasn't exactly what we asked for because we really should have got reparations. We ain't get that shit because what do? Give away our vote and lull back to sleep for 4 more years with the Democrats. So that's why I'm saying timing is everything. And this week before bullshit that he tried to pull when he could have done this in the beginning of the year while everybody was paying attention, or when he could have waited till after this election and then said this for 4 more years after whoever's back in this joint gets in this joint. That's what I'm saying is why it matters. It's not just what he's saying. He's saying exactly what we want him to say. He should have been said this. But the timing is what's important.
8 years of Bush got you the first black president.
So I'll take 8 of Trump because whatever we gonna wake up and do after 8 years of dealing with this shit is what I'm cool with doing. But I really don't mind if the rest of the world, who's all scared of what the hell Trump got going on right now, suffers for the next 4 years. I mean, a lot of people aren't. That's why they willing to vote him back in. But what I mean is enough people are.
Trump has
I don't think I'm not even talking about the world. The world job.
Trump killed one nigga. The nigga from Iran that was talking slick. He smoked him. Okay.
The Middle East getting real peaceful.
But what I'm saying is the man ain't been in. We ain't been in no war. He's dragging everybody out of all these countries. Like, what is he really doing?
And that's what I'm saying.
Fucking up every other system, program. If we can go down the line.
I mean,
putting
go down the list.
Just his appointees alone, right? Ben Carson, Betsy DeVos. So you guys don't have college-age children, so you're not probably paying attention to the impact of Betsy DeVos being the head of the education department. She's a strict fucking capitalist, right? Think about some of my students over the past 6-7 years who went to for-profit colleges like Strayer and University of Phoenix and things like that, and they were defrauded by these companies. These schools, they end up going out of business. The people's degrees aren't worth nothing, right?
But these schools been out here before Trump got here.
Let me finish.
You naming stuff that I really am just saying. But no, I understand already. What I'm saying is I don't care. We are at the bottom of the totem pole. We've been at the bottom of the totem pole. If the totem pole just starts to suck, and so we're at the bottom of a sucky totem pole, I really don't care. Let America sit in its shit. Why you keep trying to save America? We're not America's superheroes.
Who do you think these for-profit schools, right, like University of Phoenix,
I'm tired of being America's superheroes.
Where do they market their services to? Inner city schools. The majority of people who go to these schools, they market
their services to people who are sitting on their ass all day.
There's nothing that you can say to me right now that can explain to me why I feel any different about what I just explained to you.
Recruit students from black public schools to go to these schools. So when this happened, when these schools defrauded these people, they learned their degrees wasn't worth it. Something like Trump University, right? Betsy DeVos comes in.
Schools have been out for years.
Betsy DeVos comes in. When people have current litigation in the courts to get their money back from these schools, she put in legislation that these schools cannot be sued anymore. So she's a strict corporate.
Time out.
I recognize.
How did Betsy DeVos put in legislation?
Well,
she's not a legislator.
But if she's the head of the Department of Education, she can change rules. She can.
But she can't affect the court.
She can implement the rules that this country are already willing to implement with or without her.
I can't tell you the exact rule, but I'll send it to the group.
What you just said was essentially false. Was you said
no? It's not. It's not essentially false.
People who were fighting cases. Yeah. Betsy DeVos came in and changed their cases. She can't do that.
So she changes how. When the
lawsuit is set in, the rules at that current time apply to that lawsuit. If she changes the rules in the middle of a lawsuit, that's no bearing on a lawsuit.
So what about everybody who can sue after the people who are in current litigation?
If you're in current litigation, it can't be changed. If you try to file a new claim today,
what about the students after that? So do you not care about, even if that on your premise is true, so even the students that come after that?
So I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
There is some bearing of responsibility that goes onto the person who signs up for these dumbass schools. There's an area of responsibility on your part for that. America is a capitalist society. If I got some shit for sale and I'm following the government guidelines, nigga, I'ma sell it.
But if
that's America.
But if they lie to you, like the reason people were able to sue because they were sold goods under false pretenses.
Okay.
You can be in a capitalist society, but you're not allowed to lie to somebody and sell them a product that doesn't turn out what the product is supposed to be. So then she came in because her family's heavily invested in the for-profit education. She's gonna be for-profit and not for the actual students, for the people who are dealing with that. If you look at Ben Carson dealing with housing, black people are disproportionately affected by public housing. So if you have somebody whose ideology in dealing with public housing is pull yourself up by your own bootstraps, or you can find a way through God, and they're setting the policy for how public housing goes. They have control over budget for public housing. His impact, like, as bad as Bush was, like environment, housing, basic shit for people.
Killing 8,000 American citizens in one day.
Okay, so you go with the 9/11. Basic. I'm talking about
lying about a war, lying about going to war with somebody.
Basic things that you would think would be beyond reproach.
Spending trillions of dollars on a bullshit war. When you in the oil company and your vice president is in the oil company and you fucking trick the whole country into fighting people for no fucking reason so you can profit. Oh man, he's so much better than Trump. The fuck out of here, man.
So I said specifically.
Then you got Obama backed by the banks, comes in, gives the banks $1 trillion.
When you're talking about basic health
man.
services, basic housing, basic things, education, basic needs for people that you didn't think normally would be touched, were touched in the Trump administration. Because otherwise, all of the other things to me,
the hood and the project's been the same since Ronald Reagan was the president.
Yeah, and I'm tired of that same old
so
line.
So what I'm saying is, like,
it's
easy to come in and say you're gonna blame all this shit on Donald Trump. Fuck Donald Trump. But you also have to put the same blame on Obama, the same blame on HW, the same blame on Clinton, and the same blame on George I.
See, that's the difference.
They're all on the same
That's
shit.
the difference. You're talking in generalities. I'm talking specific policies.
I'm talking specific
policies
conditions
that's going to be different
around.
Because it's certain ideologies that Democratic believe and Republicans believe, no matter who's the president, right? And how that affects people's everyday lives.
White supremacy is the only ideology.
Everyday lives, it makes a difference, right? Do you feel like the same amount of people would have died in America if Hillary Clinton was president during the coronavirus?
Yes,
I do think so, but neither here nor there. Because why speak in hypotheticals? Did the same amount of people go to jail when Clinton and Bush, or first Bush or last Bush and Clinton? Did the same amount of people go to jail? Black people, black men.
Hold on, say that again.
He's saying
Bush,
how many
Clinton,
people went to jail under
Bush,
Clinton?
Republican, Democrat, Republican. Did the same amount of people go to jail?
Not so much.
So which one had more?
Specific policies. Actually, the Clinton administration, it was more.
Exactly, and so that's exactly what I'm saying. Let's erase the one black president that we got for the last 8 years and talk about Democrats and Republicans. You just said the Democrats have actually sent more. So if we recognize then erase the one black man that we got, because I know everybody wants to give him credit for the things that he did or may not have done. So let's not even talk about him, because you'll say he didn't, you'll say he did, and we can agree or disagree on all of that.
Actually, I don't think you're not an Obama guy.
What we know is
that's what I'm saying. This is kind of a false narrative. I'm talking about a specific situation and policy that's going to be decided by this election. We're currently still dealing.
Hold on, outside of that false narrative, then. Outside of us right here, you'll get 50-50 amongst black people when we talking about whether Obama did or did not do something for us.
That's irrelevant to what we're talking about.
Yeah, I know, because now I'm going to get back to what we are. Bush and Clinton sent the same amount of people to jail. That's basically not killing, like literally killing people, but based on what they actually are here to do in America, based on what the Constitution says you can do, it's killing people in America. So if you just said the Democrats have done more than the Republicans, why are we worried about Biden versus Trump? Because outside of the one black man that we can argue did or did not, who has?
So I'm arguing a specific policy that this particular election is going to.
But you're also arguing a hypothetical.
I'm arguing about the coronavirus.
Would Clinton have killed more people? We don't know.
If Clinton was the president, it wouldn't be no coronavirus because
what they wanted out of this wouldn't have needed to have been done. Exactly. No, you gotta know what you're talking about and know what you're talking about to know what you're talking about. It wouldn't happen.
That shit would have been the
It wouldn't even
goddamn flu.
happen.
So just because you press a bomb doesn't make it true.
I feel you.
So-
And just because you don't think it is doesn't mean it
a global
ain't.
I
pandemic.
gotta give you a ball for that, 'cause that's true.
Like everybody live your truth. It's all good. But I'm just saying.
That's true.
I'm reading magazines in '99 that say in 2020 at the very least there will be a pandemic if, like, it basically said there's two agendas that could happen. If one of these agendas gets pushed, there will be a pandemic that could wipe out half of the country, half of the world's population.
I mean,
it's what a magazine published in '99
that has
said.
nothing to do with
And I'm
a
not saying
political
it has
agenda.
anything to do with anything, but what I'm saying is
You're implying
when
that,
2020
though.
actually happens, and then there's some type of pandemic that winds up actually not wiping out half of the world's population, or even the amount that it projected when that joint had first started, it actually killed less people than what you would think. And so what I'm saying is,
Well,
I'm
according to
not
Joe Biden,
saying
there's gonna be
200,000 isn't a
more dead
lot.
people.
That is a lot.
By December.
But what I mean is, the numbers could have been worse. We don't know. And you want to give somebody credit who didn't even get the opportunity and want to say that it would have been less with that person, and we don't know. So I'm not going to argue that. I would rather argue what we just said based on Bush, and Clinton versus
I'll argue
some
because of
hypotheticals
policy.
about who might have been here.
What Democratic cities and Democratic policies versus Republican
But
cities.
Democratic cities Democratic states are doing the most fucked up right now under the coronavirus.
And they still shut down.
Only ones dealing by population.
I
If
just
you look
left
at ones
Texas,
who
they
have
wide open, chilling,
larger
cool.
populations,
Bro.
Kids are
The
going to
state of
school in
Georgia-
Texas. We mad because they talking about going back to school right now in DC and Maryland. Kids are already back in school in Texas. I just left. Trust me.
Shit, I was just in Georgia. Fucking Georgia.
They have the
I was in
option.
Atlanta.
Because they're set up and ready.
Fulton County has the same amount of corona deaths as Washington, D.C.
who is running the policy of coronavirus in Texas?
I don't know, but it's a
Governor
red state.
Greg Abbott.
I know it's
Who
a red
is
state.
running the
I know it's a
policy
red
for
state.
coronavirus
I know it's a
in
red
Georgia? Is it the mayor?
Kemp.
It's Kemp. These are Republicans. So when we're talking about policy matters. Their policy was no mask, open everything up.
No, you gotta wear masks.
But what I mean is,
That's what their policy was.
I mean is,
no mask, open everything
No,
up.
their policy is mask, but open.
Late, they were. How late were they to the mask?
But what I'm
party?
saying is,
and how more terrible are their
How
numbers
late were
versus
they-
PG
How
counties?
late were they to
Their
the
And how
numbers
more
are-
terrible are their
Look at
numbers
New York.
versus PG
New York had
counties?
33,000 fucking people die.
And you know why, right?
The most deaths.
we
in
talking
any
about
state.
this population.
But so we're not
We're talking about
gonna tie that to Democrats though.
No,
Why
literally,
not?
this is the port
Why
city.
not?
The first place where Chinese people
Why
come
not?
is fucking New York.
No,
The
that's
first
just
place.
California.
No, it's New York. The biggest port for international flights is New York. They be in New York.
If a Republican ran New York and it happened, would you blame a Republican?
So I looked at how California.
If a Republican
treated-
ran
this
New York-
another super populous state, and because I was wondering, like, damn, they shutting down early because my brother works at Apple, right? And they was at home like early, like March 1st. They was working from home. Shit was shut down. They're like, nah, this shit's serious, and they have a better understanding because that's where their manufacturing is. So they have an understanding. Oh, this shit is for real. Like, we don't want this shit to get in our shit, our manufacturing. They took a policy. We're shutting down shit early, and it mitigated so much more carnage and death in those places. The places who didn't do that, it's more death. And you can look at it from every country in the world. You look at where you had right-wing dictators like Brazil, where you had right-wing dictators who are following U.S. policy down the line from the Trump administration, they have more deaths. Even all the goddamn leaders who were doing that, they caught the coronavirus too, who were following that policy. So you can actually look at left-wing versus right-wing policy, places who had left in place, people, lives got saved. People where they had right-wing policies, more people died.
That's not true.
And we are.
That's not true at all.
It is absolutely true.
It's definitely not true.
Where is that not true?
We just used an example with the state of Texas and the state of Georgia.
They are run by Republicans. What are you talking about?
So you're saying
They're run by Republicans.
You're saying Democratic states have less deaths.
Yes, they do.
But Georgia and Texas have low deaths. That's what I'm telling you. They have low deaths.
Texas, Houston had to get locked down 2 times,
Bro.
because of their policy.
Fulton County, Georgia has 642 deaths of coronavirus. Washington, D.C. has 617.
So what's
And Washington, D.C. is significantly smaller than Fulton County, Georgia.
smaller, but population-wise, no.
No, that's not true.
like population density. Like
That's not true.
People in I've been to Fulton, Georgia.
Right.
It's fucking spread
But
the fuck out. It's land. It's like people in DC are living on top of each other in close quarters. Everywhere you go is crowded. Crowded stores, crowded places. Just like you can't compare to
it's only 10
fucking
miles.
New York
You're right,
to
bro.
another city. You can't compare
But-
like how people live. Population density matters. You can't just say, it's the same size.
does
I would
People on top
want to
of
look
each
at the
other.
population numbers. I guarantee DC's population is bigger than Fulton County, Georgia's population.
Would you say that DC's population is bigger than Atlanta's?
Well, if you talk about Atlanta and counties surrounding Atlanta, no. But if you talk about city limits, Atlanta, yes.
We gotta look that up.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I don't know.
Absolutely.
All I'm telling you is that
We gotta look it up like it mattered.
it's Democrat. You're right.
It was just a random
It's
question.
Democratic states that's out here fucked up. It's Republican states that's fucked up. It's random.
But if you look at not even just the U.S.,
I
if you
wouldn't even
look
say
at
fucked up. It's not even really that motherfucking bad.
if you look at just liberal versus like right wing
There's still
policies
McDonald's on every corner, man.
over the country, you know how they handle the coronavirus. Countries who are able to get a hold of it and eliminate it sooner, unless you. Like China's just the outlier because they don't give a fuck. They locked everybody up. They sprayed it with whole. They like get the fuck in or you might get shot. Which I understand they really had to get it under control.
Damn. So you say you agree with that?
I'm just saying. I said they the outlier.
I'm
saying that. I
not
said
willing
they
to
the
give up
they
my
didn't-
rights and freedoms for a fucking disease. I'm not. I'd rather fucking die of the disease than die of being locked the fuck down and under goddamn state control.
Well, are you really under state control?
For a second, it was like that.
I don't think so.
For a second, or at least we're trying to get like that.
I feel like you.
But you just
I think you
China
tap dancing on the right.
You brought up China. China will smoke your ass.
They're an authoritarian government, but
I'm not with them shit.
did they got rid of the coronavirus very quickly?
Allegedly.
I mean, their shit's open back up.
I mean, when you make the virus, never mind.
Oh, he tap dancing. Tap dancing that line.
Never mind.
But I'm saying all that to say this. Let's reel the conversation back in. That we have a choice to make in America right now. Unfortunately, we are still dealing with the coronavirus, and we can look at the policies that are on the table right now between Democrats and Republicans. And
What's the Democratic policy on coronavirus?
Wear masks, and it's always been that.
Wear mask. Okay.
Socially distance, wear masks.
Okay. So look, because we can just agree to disagree on this. We'll let the viewers, all 20 of you, decide who's right or who's wrong. One thing that I have noticed, speaking of Puff Daddy, has been so you got a lot of celebrities speaking up right now on political issues, right? I've noticed that a lot. And what I've been seeming to see with a lot of these posts that they've been making is that there are a lot of people who are really, in my opinion, starting to wake up and get a little more politically savvy and not just go for the same old dog and pony show.
Plies even.
Yeah.
Plies lately, he been weighing in on some political stuff. I don't really know. I don't really follow. But I've been seeing him.
excluding.
Are you on the celebrity bandwagon now?
No.
For the last,
What I'm saying,
Hey, he's switching up, right? Don't listen to the celebrities, and now he's saying
celebrities
I noticed the celebrities are
Hold
waking
on.
up.
I think that you have misunderstood the point I was trying to make.
Okay.
The point, what I was trying to get to is I don't think that the celebrities who are making these political posts understand where the actual base is going. For instance,
They
I
out of
saw
touch.
a YouTube post that Joe Budden did a podcast with the girls podcast he has now. And basically it was like a 10 or 15 minute clip where he was kind of low key bashing Ice Cube for shopping our plan to both parties. And there were just as many dislikes as there were likes on the video. In the comment section, they ripped Joe Budden alive. Yeah. And I say that because I've seen a lot of celebrities. For instance, Lupe Fiasco kept making a bunch of posts on Instagram talking about vote for Joe Biden, right? The first time he did it, they ripped his ass in the comments. So he did it 3 more times and disabled his comments, which I think was a bitch ass move. But what I'm saying is, like, I'll start with you, Maria. Do you think celebrities to a degree are out of touch?
I feel like celebrities, when they start to speak politically, I think that they are.
Okay.
I think that they are not really informed. I think it is an attention kind of like, hey, jump on the bandwagon, depending on, you know, the celebrity. I don't think they are really informed on, like, you know, these policies that these politicians have and are behind. Some people are just hopping on behind certain politicians because, oh, it seems right, or this is what's going on CNN or MSNBC. It's the flavor of the month. That's how I feel.
Okay, I mean, to a certain degree, I agree. Kirk, what say you?
I think it depends on the celebrity, honestly. I mean, some celebrities be in tune to what's going on. Some of them aren't. Some of them pay attention to what the streets talking about. Some of them aren't.
Some niggas keep it a buck. I think 50 kept it a buck.
Some,
I mean, and then that,
50 was like, yo, I'm not trying to pay those taxes. Fuck that nigga.
Yeah, and that's fair. I mean, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, man, if that's how you feel, then just
like,
vote how you feel.
I think 50. I think 50.
But
But hold on.
I
think 50 knows. Yeah. I think he knows what the people are feeling and thinking, and I think he just didn't want to. I think he just also knows what was in his best interest, and he don't mind not going along with what the people talking about. He knows.
He said that shit just to get into the conversation and get some headlines.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He don't care. He doesn't care about.
That's what I'm saying.
Because somebody at that level of wealth, they never
right.
pay the actual tax rate.
Oh no, some of these rappers are dumb as fuck. A lot of these rappers are financially, they're not being taken care of correctly.
Well, he's different. He's been the head of major like if you have a production company, he's writing shit off. Like when his I can tell he was tax savvy when his baby mama tried to come after him with more money, and he came with that little asset sheet. So I only made $1,100 from this, and then next he got a fucking TV show, fucking thing. Like he's smart in terms of finance and how to handle taxes. So that's why that shit. Immediately it struck me as disingenuous because he's not going to pay that 60% tax rate.
I mean, most rich people, I'll keep it a buck. Yeah. Most people with money who have a half a brain aren't going to pay no 60-something% of taxes unless you're just dumb.
Yeah,
unless you just have the wrong type of accountant. Like unless you have like a Mormon accountant who's just all about doing things.
You might get audited. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't really see that. Like but at the same time, the thought of taxes going higher is kind of crazy. Cohen, I'd like to get to you. Like, what do you think about this whole like celebrities in their base? Do you think that they're off?
I think, like Kurt said, it depends on a celebrity. Celebrity who have a track record of being politically active, being politically smart, doing their research, and they have an opinion on it. So be it. If you just have people that randomly weigh in on politics when it's convenient for them, like a 50 Cent, like a Kanye West, like people like that, I don't fuck with them because they're just opportunists. They're not for the people. They're for the opportunity these waves can provide for them. So it depends on the celebrity.
How you plug Kanye in the 50? Hold on. How you plug Kanye in the 50 when Kanye really been talking about this for straight 4 years?
But he's been talking nonsense for 4 years.
And your opinion.
So,
and that's the whole thing. That's what's crazy, dog.
Anybody with half a political brain can recognize how much Kanye has flip-flopped, has supported causes against his own
How
interests.
has he flip-flopped?
Because for sometimes he say, I'm for black people, but if you support evangelical Christians who are fundamentally against black people, that's cutting your nose off despite your face. So I look at what people say and what they support after that. So if you show up to evangelical Christian churches and do your concerts, if you go into the White House and call Donald Trump your father figure, your daddy, and grovel and buck dance and smile in his face, if you do all these things, if you talk about how the record industry is dogging you, but you dogged out your artists that are on your label, like he's a walking fucking contradiction. I like your shoes. I like your clothes. I like your beats. That's the shit I care about from you. But when it comes to anything outside of that, you've proven how stupid you are by talking. So I don't fuck with you.
Did he only go to
Puff Daddy
evangelical
Dog, his
churches?
artist.
You say what?
Honestly, I think
Did he only Did he only go to evangelical churches?
Yeah, and he and which let
Yeah,
me know
he
something.
only went to
Hold on.
evangelical
And I'm about to just bring it home with this point right here. When he talked in like Utah and Idaho, he was talking so much of that right wing, I love Trump, what America's great again hat and all that. When he came to Howard University, he said absolutely none of that. He changed his tune completely. So that
no.
I mean, he went to Howard.
let me know you're just he's pandering.
He went to hold on.
It didn't work for him.
I don't feel like that's what it is. So
he's smart for doing that.
All right, so Pete, you gonna let me talk?
What it is.
All right, so I don't think that that's necessarily pandering. For one, he went to Howard in October of 2019. That was just a year ago. He went to the White House and wore the hat and all of that in like 2017, like when Trump had first got in office. He said already that they played him, whatever they played with him, so on and so forth. But I don't even feel like it was so much of them playing with him as it was. They were both being used. They were both using, because I feel like Kanye be doing dumb shit the same way you say Kanye be doing dumb shit. I recognize all of that. But with that being said, timing and when things happen is just as relevant. I've been talking about timing this whole time, all day. You're acting like he's just an opportunist, but he's actually been talking about politics for over 4 years now. It's not just some fresh new thing. Diddy also has talked about been in and out of politics for a long time, but he says some foolish things according to your beliefs at one point, and then as soon as he switch up, you switch up with him. Like, I think it's just you have biases on what you mess with and don't mess with, but I think it's literally just that bias, because he don't be saying a bunch of far-fetched out of the box things. He says a lot of things that are actually relevant to the black culture and what we need to be like applying our political
A broken clock is right twice a day.
too. Yeah, and you can always say that to carry him, but he'd be right actually if we talking about 12 hours, maybe 10 out of the day, and be wrong 2. But y'all like to highlight them 2 and focus on them so long that you don't realize them other 10 is when he's actually right. The 2 is when he's wrong, because y'all are the ones that like to focus on the negativity and the broken clock that is wrong that twice a day rather than right the other 10. When the reality is, if you took the whole message and focused on the entire message, he has a 3-hour interview that you can go pay attention to right now. The person that he's interviewing actually, for once, instead of trying to make him sound crazy, was like the concepts and ideas
Which
and things that
interview
you're
is
talking
this?
about. Hold on, it's with Joe Rogan. It came out like within
Another
this last
suspected
week.
white supremacist.
All right, and you're also cutting me off the same way you hate being cut off. And so the same way he has these conversations with people who are like, yeah, these ideas actually make sense. These concepts make sense. But if you say them like this, then people will actually maybe be more accepting of them. It's all about giving the opportunity to really listen and not just dub somebody crazy. Focus on like the actual message, not the messenger, is all I'm saying.
So I'm a huge Kanye West fan, right? So I've been following his whole career. So when the first early part of his career, he was saying some wild shit. Like, I'm like, I'm still ride with you, Ye. And then it just got worse and worse and worse. And I don't know if it's because of his medical condition, the bipolar situation, marrying into the Kardashians, and entering a whole different world. Like, he's not the same person that I respected to hear him talk about certain things, right? Like, you lose credibility by your actions. Like, and at this point, he has absolutely no credibility in the black community when it comes to politics. He supported Candace Owens, bro. That is the female Uncle Ruckus.
I like this. I like
something
to say
what
one
Candace
thing.
Owens says sometimes.
Because
She ain't always saying the right thing. She half the time, more than half the time, saying the wrong thing. But sometimes she say the right thing.
I'd like to
twice a day.
That's what political charlatans do. They mix in truth theory with a bunch of lies to make it.
Word of the day: political charlatan.
Those political charlatans, they mix in a little bit of truth with a bunch of lies. Donald Trump is the epitome of that. He gonna mix some facts in there. It's like a cup of lean.
But what I'm saying,
you know what I'm saying? He gonna drop a Jolly Rancher.
If somebody write twice a
It's
day,
gonna be
it ain't
sweet,
wrong to
but the
highlight
rest of
them
this
2
shit gonna
times.
get you fucked up.
So look, fellas. To wrap this segment up and to move on, I'd like to get my take, and then we can just.
Okay.
As far as all of these
Hated it.
go, I haven't.
Hey, we got to get that on the board.
Yes.
I think that all of these celebrities should just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Or do like Ice Cube and go
Do
and
something.
put other people on the platform that know more about it.
Or do like Diddy. Start your own political party.
Well, no, I wouldn't say we do like Diddy because I don't know who Diddy
Or like
has
Jay
on-
Morrison,
his tape,
which I don't
right,
like that
you-
though. That picky.
Morrison- Jay
Y'all real
Morrison's
picky.
trash.
Y'all real picky.
So
One
look,
person do it is trash. Another person do it is great. Y'all
So-
real picky, dog.
Me, I'm saying
You
Diddy
gotta
and
change
Jay
your
Morrison are
you gotta
trash.
change your attitude when you learn more information about somebody. Just like niggas was jamming R. Kelly till we found out he was for real a pedophile. You can't look at him the same way.
If Bump and Grind come on, I'm still turning that
Right,
shit up. Y'all just got me
exactly.
fucked up.
Y'all tripping.
Nah.
How he is personally.
It's not
that's
even
his
about the whole
personal
bum and grind. It's about, I mean, we
However,
know that
He's
man's a
singing to
pedophile.
children.
It don't make. Look, the song is a great song. Okay,
Age
let's
ain't
not go
nothing but a
no.
Y'all niggas still listen to Elvis?
I've
So
never
look-
listened to Elvis.
Speaking of music, great segue. guys.
Right.
T.I. versus Jeezy
Okay.
in the next versus battle. I'll start with the surrogate Houstonian over here, Mr. Cosby.
Okay. I don't know why that Houston has anything to do with it.
I mean, it's the South.
Anyway,
ain't count.
I'm a fan of both, man. Speaking of that TM 10, what's the first one? TM 103.
The first one.
First
was
one?
101. Yeah,
101.
TM 101.
Didn't you go to college?
Yeah, that shit. That's what I was about to say. That shit came out my freshman year, and God bless my roommate was from Texas. He had like a little Chevy Cavalier with 2 16s in the trunk. And when that Jeezy came out, I thought I was gonna go fucking.
Was he Hispanic?
No, he was black.
Okay.
And I, used to see it on TV. People had a beat in their trunk till you experience it for real. Where the trunk is literally rattling, the license plate is rattling, the rear view mirror is rattling, and you can't even really
speakers are
hear the
rattling.
music. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like,
Yeah. That
and
one went
that
crazy.
new Jeezy came out, and that shit was just banging. And I've been a Jeezy fan ever since, man. That first album,
My nigga, who you got in the battle?
T.I. got more hit. It depends on how the battle switches, right? It was almost like with Jada and Fab, right? Jeezy would be Fab to me. T.I. would be Fab, and Jada would be
You know,
Jeezy.
Jada drug Fab in that battle.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is because if it tends to flow street, Jeezy has more street hits and better features to me with the street shit than T.I. does. T.I. shit,
But you know, Jada killed Fab off the hits.
but no, he had more. It was verses. It was
Bruh.
verses. It was.
Did you see the versus battle?
If Fab would have went, just start hitting him with the hits because he got way more hits.
He doesn't.
Jada got better features.
Bro, Jada didn't even play Y and dog him.
What other? Can you name 10
Nigga.
songs that Jada played?
Bro, okay. He played the
Fab had
jungle
more
with Mariah Carey.
What's the name of it?
I don't know, but it's the Mariah
All
Carey
right.
joint.
All right.
He didn't even play Y. He played fucking She Was a Model for a year and a half.
Knock
I mean,
yourself
he was
out.
Knock
banging
yourself
them.
out. Two.
Nigga,
Name
I can't-
name 3 more songs.
That's
I
all
can't
you
think
gonna
of all.
get.
I
That's
mean,
all
he
you
won
gonna
the
get.
battle, bro, and it was all off hits.
But what I'm telling you, it wasn't off hits. He had them
Features.
he had them banging ass street.
those his only
features.
hits. You
Like
just named
them.
because they drag. Jada did a good. He
We're gonna
dragged
do a
Fab
recap
in
of
the
the
street
show. 'Cause
lane.
I'm gonna rewatch that battle.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, no.
Listen,
This-
look, he dragged Fab down the street lane because Fab got the street song.
Nah, but he
Jada
dragged
had
them
more
all
street
hits, bro. Jada on the low. Jada got a lot of hits.
He does not. That's why you can't name them.
I don't know.
No, you
I don't
can't.
think
Jada
he has
really
a lot
ain't
of
got his,
hits.
bro.
I think
I
that
can't. Like,
Jada.
Did he play
hate being
lock
put on the
songs or
spot.
did he only
No,
play
no.
Diddy?
I think
I bet you
Jada
can name 5 fabulous hits.
Actually, not right now.
had like street songs, but as far as hits, Fab had the more hits.
So who you
that
got?
were
Like Billboard,
frequently-
like charting. He's charting.
Right.
Nah, T.I. or Jeezy?
So it's tough because I've heard the T.I. album. I actually like it. I like T.I.'s album.
T.I. new album. is irrelevant.
I like Jeezy too. I don't know, guys. I don't know.
If it goes street, Jeezy got it.
I like Jeezy better than I like T.I. But I feel like T.I. is gonna wash Jeezy.
TM
And that's why he
101.
didn't want to take Busta Rhymes. That's why he wanted to go. See, If you ask me, both of them niggas don't want that wreck with Gucci.
And
Because Gucci will fuck both of them up.
Yeah,
I
that's
agree.
facts.
Gucci will fuck both of them up.
That's facts.
Yeah.
But TM101, but hold on. TM101 and Recession do it for Jeezy. Those are two classic albums.
He better play all of those songs.
T.I. honestly
But see, like-
never had phases where he fell off. Jeezy had some phases where he fell off and didn't make music.
That's true.
T.I.'s got
And
hits.
that's why I think
Yeah,
T.I. is
T.I.
going to
got
win.
hits.
Because T.I. got the
T.I. work
longevity.
with better
He has-
producers.
I like
He
more.
got J features. Like
Yeah,
like
T.I. at least has like anywhere between 4 to 5 hits on every single one of his albums.
like Paper Trail got
Like-
big songs.
Major.
Paper Trail solid. Rihanna hits
King,
and all that.
like, yeah.
You can have whatever you like.
But I feel like, honestly, if I was judging the battle, all Young Jeezy would have to do is just play the whole fucking 101.
TM101
Right,
and
that's
Recession.
right.
Recession is good. T.I. tripping.
Right, yeah.
But trap music was a good like Rubber Band
It
Man.
was.
I think Rubber Band
Yeah.
Man is as good as almost every song on that TM101.
No. He's not
not
even going to beat the. I'll give you the first
no.
one off the break. Hit the kitchen lights. Roaches everywhere.
See,
That's the first joke.
but see, that's why that's what I'm saying. If it turns into the battle of the trap songs, Jeezy got better trap
And
songs.
I am the trap. That's my shit.
Yes.
That's my shit.
Jeezy encapsulates the
I'm about to
trap
listen to that on the
sound
ride home.
better.
I
You know what I'm saying?
agree. I agree with you on
But
that.
musically and production value, like the shit T.I. got with Dro, Young Dro, that whole era with Dro,
And even what he was rapping about, like,
Cokehead ass Drew.
yeah. But all them other little young Atlanta niggas he had under him, he got songs with all
T.I.
of them.
he ain't put
Like, he
Lil
got
Duval
hits.
on, but
Like I
he
said,
helped Lil Duval get the
niggas don't want to battle Gucci. It'll be a murder.
Nah,
It'll be a
I
murder.
agree.
No.
It ought
I
to be
think
a three-way.
T.I. could beat Gucci.
It don't. Oh no.
Oh,
You're
no.
tripping.
You swear.
Wait, we need a button for that. No.
But you gotta look at it. Gucci doesn't have a lot of mainstream hits.
It doesn't
It don't matter if he don't have
Gucci,
but
Gucci
but
got
artists, everybody
mixtape.
know his mixtape.
Right,
shit.
exactly.
Gucci-
When the song
Mixtape,
come on, because
and when
he got so much
everybody
mixtape hitting
know
that
it.
mainstream hits, when you hear it,
but that's-
it's gonna be
I
like,
feel
oh, he played that
But this is
one.
the thing.
Versus when you hear the mainstream joint, you just like,
But this is the thing though. That's why I think it
And then
matters.
when you talk about young niggas, like Gucci pretty much blessed the whole South as we know.
Yeah.
Gucci's the godfather of every nigga out here rapping right now.
Shit, Jeezy.
Nah.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
With the ad-libs, he
I
do it.
said,
Yeah.
yes, he is.
That song has
they've
no
been-
validity
The
without
Snowman,
Gucci.
that's
but
when
that
Jeezy-
That's a
wasn't
good
the song
point.
to put him on.
That's a good point.
Huh?
Icy wasn't the song to put him on.
I'm just saying.
They
but
was
I'm
rivals
saying
shortly
in
after.
that
I mean,
era.
they're peers.
No, but I'm saying
They're
like
peers.
that's
They
how
put
they
both.
got.
You're
That's
They didn't put
how
both.
Jeezy basically got on.
No, he did not.
You have
I
no
feel
Migos,
like-
you have no Future, you have nobody
Yeah.
without fucking without
Yeah,
Gucci.
I agree.
So all right, let me ask you this, because I mean it's clear. I mean T.I. will probably wash Jeezy. It's
I don't think so.
unfortunate, but
I
he
think if they take you down that trap
I think the
lane,
fans win.
they gonna Jeezy got something for him. But if T.I.
Political answer, the fans win.
T.I. keep it Billboard hits,
I hope Jeezy washes T.I., but I just don't see it.
Yeah, the fans win, bro.
Yeah.
Jeezy
it's
don't
not
seem like he
gonna
gonna put
do
in
that,
enough
nah.
effort.
but they ain't think
I knew
Jada was
that
gonna be
Jada
able
was
to-
gonna wash Fab.
No, you
bro.
didn't.
But I don't think
No,
so.
you didn't.
See, with that, but I feel like Fab had more hits than
Fab
Jada. I
doesn't.
mean,
Fab-
They did like 10 songs of mixtape verses. And
We gonna-
and Jada's mixtape verses
were
was
not
better. They just like he's a surgeon with that. Fab is like
So I had this conversation with a couple people the other day, right? And the nigga said I was crazy. So I want to know.
You're crazy.
Yeah, maybe. I want to know whose catalog do you think is like the ultimate catalog when it comes to catalogs in general and just versus battles? My statement that I stand on is, with the exception of Kanye West,
Drake.
no, with the exception of Kanye West, I don't think anybody could touch the tandem DJ Paul and Juicy J.
Crazy.
I don't think anybody touches it.
Crazy.
I don't think nobody can touch it.
Crazy. Drake. Did you forget forget about Drake?
I'm just saying. I mean,
Is anybody trying to figure out why that didn't happen?
You forget
What
about
happened
Drake.
to the DJ Paul and
Whether the 3 6 versus Bone.
Right,
Right.
right.
Bone.
Versus
3 6
took it
with a
over and then it
drug
never
bone.
happened, and I'm pissed. 3 6 was definitely going to drug.
Nigga, you can play Mr.
I know they were
Don't
going to
Play
drag
and
them
drag every Bone
because
song.
I know they were going to drag them
He's not
because
in
listen.
Magic
I know they were going to
3 6
drag them
Mafia.
because
But it's
DJ
verses.
Paul
I said their catalog
went
DJ
live
Paul
after
and
that,
DJ produced
and
everything that consists
That was in
of
that
3
3
was it
Six.
Crazy Bone?
Yeah.
Crazy Bone went live after that, and DJ Paul went live after that,
Nigga.
and DJ Paul cranked for 2 hours
Nigga,
straight,
ain't
and Crazy Bone was done after about 30 minutes.
fucking with DJ Paul and Juicy J. Nobody is. Their catalog.
But I still think you're
agree.
reaching,
I have
though.
to
I still
agree.
think you're reaching.
If we're
I
talking,
still think you're reaching.
we're talking 96 through 2005 when they
Yeah.
were relevant.
Yeah.
My nigga, nobody's doing it.
Drake has
Drake
been
wouldn't even-
on top for
Drake-
10
let me
years.
tell you something.
Drake wasn't-
Drake wouldn't
no.
even battle them. Drake
No.
wouldn't even battle them.
Drake was
Yeah.
sampling them.
Drake would put his money up
Right,
on them.
exactly.
He wasn't sampling them. He was. Sampling
I'm just saying, you say
Pimp C and
catalog.
them.
That's-
I mean, listen, I fucks with Drake.
Wayne.
Hell no. DJ
What?
Paul and Juicy.
I don't know. Wayne.
I
could.
got DJ
Wayne-
Paul and Juicy J's catalog.
Wayne,
You talking about all
Wayne
the projects
saved the
back-
Wayne saved the music industry with Carter 3.
No. Wayne saved Cash Money.
No, he saved the music
No, he
industry.
did.
He saved
Yes, he
rap
did, bruh.
industry.
He saved the yeah.
How?
This
He ain't
you gotta
really
you gotta
saved
look at the
that
time. It was a transition between CDs, Napster, and streaming. The Carter 2, that era came between the Napster and streaming era. Like when record sales was like in the fucking toilet. Carter 3
Niggas
went
just getting
platinum
free Wayne
in a
tapes.
week.
That's real.
Yeah, that's true.
That's good perspective. But I don't think he
Platinum in
saved
a
it.
week.
Shit still would have been moving. It just would have moved differently.
Like it would have he
Nigga,
changed.
Gucci Man saved the rap industry.
Nah,
Period.
not more than Wayne did.
Wayne
I'm sorry.
literally but you
Not
gotta
more
look.
than Wayne.
Carter
Wayne,
1, Carter 2, great albums.
Wayne been rapping since the 99 and the 2000.
Actually,
Probably
he's been rapping
before
before
that.
that shit.
Right, I was about to
So
say
if you
before
say
that.
his catalog would crush them.
No.
Yeah, it would.
Wayne's catalog, personally, no.
Yes, it will, bro. You know how many number ones? I'm talking number
Cash
one
Money.
Billboard.
Bro,
Yeah, he
No,
you're right.
one number one
Wayne-
Billboard.
I think
Yeah,
is
Wayne,
like
Wayne
10
Jay-Z, and
Wayne got
Kanye
catalog.
I
and
will
Drake
put up, the only nigga that I'm telling you
are all above
is untouchable is Kanye West.
What type of drugs were you on when you decided this debate? Do you
Nigga, so you
realize
telling me Kanye West not untouchable?
He's not.
when I'm
Who's
talking?
touching Kanye West in music, period? Prince is dead, so is Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
If Drake
Drake?
hold on, if Drake continues this run for maybe
I gotta get that.
if
Drake.
Yes.
I think Drake run is
I'll say
already
this.
done.
Nah,
honestly,
if Drake-
I think
No,
the
it's
last
not.
two joints ain't been where
Drake
they were.
run's not done.
The last
just
two
got
joints
another
ain't
one
been where
hit.
they were.
Yo, and when I first heard,
He still make. And
What's that
I'm
song
not saying
down
his
there?
run is done. Like he can't still
What's that
be
song?
top,
the
but he
Laugh
been
Now, Cry
slumming.
Later.
say what is it?
Laugh,
He been
Laugh Now,
slumming.
Cry
When
Later
I
with
first heard it,
Drake.
I hated it. Now I love it.
That shit like that.
Now I love
He
it.
got to grow on you. He has grown.
Ooh, I'm just saying.
Kanye's run is done. He's
Yeah,
done.
Kanye work. His run is
done.
definitely done.
Nah, cause Kanye know how to switch lanes.
honestly, though,
he might get the gospel lane for another 10 years.
Honestly, Kanye.
If he wanted to stick to that, Kanye would
But
get the gospel lane
gospel
for another
music
10 years.
is not an impact in American culture
That's what you
like
think.
popular rap music is.
Right.
Like
But that don't mean it
that,
can't.
the album, the gospel
That don't
done
mean
was
it
cool,
can't
but
transcend
nobody
that.
like
Nobody really like.
nobody's
Drake
checking.
like
Nobody's
that.
checking for that.
If
shit.
That
we
don't mean it
really,
can't
let me tell you
transcend
something.
that.
Song for song, 20 songs.
You a stan.
No-
You not even a fan. You was stand for Kanye.
Nobody's hold up.
I didn't bring this up for the record. He the
with
one
the
that said
exception of Kanye
Kanye.
West,
I was saying
nobody
he can
is
transcend
beating DJ
different
Paul
genres of music.
and Juicy J.
Because
Lil
people,
Wayne
because
has
the
Lil
whole
Wayne has 10
hold on.
number
The whole
one
game
songs.
of music is being able to transcend genres of music. If you are sticking in one lane, you're not really. You're good at that lane, but you're not doing nothing yet. Drake is even in your argument right now because
that
Drake
nigga
can
was-
sing, rap, and do whatever the fuck else you need him to do on any track. He can be a reggae dude if you need him to. He can be a country dude if you need him to. Drake can do whatever the hell you want to do on a track. As long as he got the right producer. That's why he's in the argument. If you can transcend music.
3 Project Pat
Kanye's
albums.
the first person that really transcended music. He started in rap, and then all of a sudden he was the one that made auto-tune like really legit when he came out with the 808 and Heartbreaks. So transcending music, bro. That's how you get on. It's not about being a stan. It's about recognizing when.
Like I said, I can't disrespect Kanye.
You gotta
West.
do, bro.
Kanye West.
Y'all just rather hate, rather.
I'm not. No, I'm not hating. I said I love Kanye's music. I'm just saying his run is over.
Said he's a stan because he likes his music.
Nah, I was like, he was like, he gonna take over the gospel lane, but gospel ain't relevant.
I mean,
popular music.
Right.
Yeah, you can
Right.
say gospel relevant if you want to.
I mean,
but it's up there.
you was wilding with the gospel. I feel you though. I mean, listen.
Y'all think people
You
don't
was off
listen
the
to
hip.
gospel.
I mean, he was off the hip.
And then listening to it, y'all think people weren't listening to his album. Y'all tripping.
I didn't listen to that shit.
I hear
And love
you. You
Kanye
didn't.
West.
That don't mean people
Did it
weren't.
chart? What did it chart?
I don't even know.
I don't pay attention to
Did it?
charts and numbers
Look,
and
did
all
it
that.
chart?
That'll let you know
But
who's
that don't mean
listening.
it don't.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet y'all that joint is something on the top of the gospel charts if it ain't number one. I'm willing
Lesson
to
of
bet
the day,
y'all.
nigga. Don't say shit about Kanye West around this nigga.
I'm just saying. I'm willing to bet.
So look, Wayne got Wayne
ain't gonna lie. You fucking.
You know Wayne got 10.
Don't talk about Kanye.
Wayne got 10
Tupac,
number one
couple
hits,
niggas
bro.
on the list.
Wayne has
Like,
10
it's that
number
simple.
ones. You know one number
They
one
doing
song
shit you ain't
is
doing.
worth like 10 mixtape and
Yeah, I don't
obscure
aspire.
songs.
All right, man.
He got 10 number one billboards.
Yeah.
So you saying he can't see 3-6 Mafia?
No, you can't.
You're a 3-6 stan.
No,
So
I'm not.
what we learned from this conversation,
Nah.
Kurt,
You know what
don't
we should
say
do?
shit about 3-6 around Trip Simpson.
No, because I'm a 3-6. I'm a 100% ignorant ass nigga from DC. I'm a rap a lot, 3-6, Hot Boys, No Limit. Nigga, that's me all day.
Shit, no. If you put No Limit versus them, No Limit might
I'm
be.
sorry, but nobody, especially in that era, from 96 to 05, is fucking with DJ Paul.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why. So half of that era that you're talking about, their hits were regional. 3-6 stuff was regional.
But see, this is why that's an ignorant statement. You saying regional, right? But the South makes up for a whole bunch of fucking states. See, niggas think New York mean the whole world. New York is just New York. New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. Everybody below New Jersey, from
who was I
just
comparing
south
it
of
to?
Philly, all the way down to Florida, over to Texas, to Cali, to Oakland, to Tennessee, to Alabama, Oklahoma, Arkansas, was all listening to 3-6 Mafia.
Who was more popular in that era, No Limit or 3-6?
To me, 3-6.
Not to you.
But I mean,
by record sales,
early in the era, it was
all the
no
metrics.
limit. But at this point in time, it's evened out. Like nigga, 3-6 did they thing, man. Throughout the South.
But you got to realize
you gotta understand the South was hated on a large majority of that time. So nobody really knew the real numbers.
What was 3-6 last hit song?
3-6's last hit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Juicy J, bands that make her dance.
What was 3-6 Mafia's last hit?
It's hard out here for a pimp.
Nah, I think Stay Fly was their last hit.
No, hard out here for a pimp was after Stay Fly.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, they won an Academy Award with that, so
Yeah.
that's a thing. That's
I gave you the time, 96 to 05.
But I'm saying like why? Because I'm a 3-6 fan. Like When the Smoke Clears
Yes.
is one of my favorite albums. We was going to
Yes.
Wilson when that came out.
I'ma tell you-
That's
let
one
me
of
tell you
my
the album.
favorite albums.
Hypnotized Camp.
Posse.
Yeah.
Choices too.
North,
Like I'm a fan, so I ain't speaking because I'm hating on them, but I understand.
You know what album I dug?
That shit was.
Nigga, I listened to Murder She Spoke the other day. I was like, God damn.
That's super.
niggas is-
That's super. If you're not a 3-6 fan, that
But what I'm saying
that
is
shit ain't
was
chart.
fire.
But you gotta look at, bruh. If you put the No Limit era, you put mystical shit was on fire. You put fucking P shit. Just put P shit by itself. Mr. Ice Cream Man, The Last
Ice Cream
Dawn.
Man.
You
Yeah.
put that shit. Then you throw Mia X. Then you throw Fiend. Like
I guarantee you though-
Fiend was shitting on anything coming out of
If you
3-6.
throw those songs on first and then you throw on a 3-6 banger, 3-6 is gonna win. I'm telling you.
No, son. Money to the Ceiling.
I mean, like, huh?
Oh, there, big time from Fiend.
So I would throw on Cheese and Dope, Project Pat. Easy.
But he's not a
Easy win.
So this is the thing. We got
DJ
what we
Paul
talking
and
about?
Juicy J produced his album. That's their shit. His verses. It's the catalog.
Is
So
that
you gonna
fair?
say, but then you gotta say,
Is that fair?
I don't think that's fair.
It is fair. That's the rules to verses.
So I think you,
Anything-
So
that
then
you tell- I
Kanye
think-
can play hella Jay-Z songs?
Yes. Kanye gets you with the down, down, don't.
That's why you said don't
Even though he was in that
include
song,
him.
but he produced
That's why you said don't include him.
Yeah.
That makes sense now.
What I'm saying is fuck Kanye out. The shit that he produced.
Cause like you can't add no Jay-Z songs. He ain't produced nothing.
You can add Jay-Z songs.
I mean,
For the Black Album?
no. I mean Jay-Z. If we were saying Jay-Z was going up against people, you can put Jay-Z songs up.
Yeah.
He gonna be in top
I think-
five of this argument.
I think this
but
debate
you
is-
can't add other people's songs because
Right.
Jay-Z ain't
Kanye
produced
can do
nobody
that,
of his
because
own.
he has that
Yeah,
spec.
so that's what I'm saying. If y'all are
So
cool with
do
doing
DJ Ball and
that,
Juicy
because Scott Storch definitely was doing that when he was going up against who did he go against? Whoever it was unfair.
Timberlake
Manny
did the
Fresh.
same
No, he
thing.
went up against Manny Fresh. I think
I
Manny
think
Fresh
the
playing all
conversation
Cash Money songs while Scott Storch playing shit.
devolving
Mariah Carey,
into,
ain't no Scott
we've gone
Storch had
down
nothing
the
to do with
rabbit
that.
hole.
Yes.
Like that wasn't even fair.
We gotta climb out of the rabbit hole, guys, and go with the final thoughts because we can go on with this forever.
Oh, we not fucking with the cup cards tonight.
Oh yeah. Oh, let's switch to the cup card.
Security ain't came got us yet. We good.
All right.
It is 11:26. We've been talking for a long ass time. That's
All right,
funny.
let's
I
shuffle them up.
realized
Let's
that.
do
All
this
right.
real quick.
So y'all know cuff
shit.
is cuffing
Damn, Maria?
season. What happened?
Slam the shit.
Maryland Live Casino.
Sorry, my bad.
Shout out to Vegan Steven for holding the camera that long.
Well, y'all
I say
know
you bust Trip
Vegan.
Simpson in the
it's
head in the
cuffing
parking lot.
season, and what we doing is we're getting into these questions with the cuff cards because it's cuffing season. So this time we're just gonna randomly pick cards.
Can we pick
Everybody
one and
pick
everybody
one.
stay on the same topic? Or we gonna pick four again?
I bet you got some
One.
bullshit.
I know, because I always get
All right, and then I'll pick the last one. All right, so who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Have
Go.
you ever wanted to buy a sex toy but hesitated?
No.
No.
I thought about buying one of them fleshlights or one of them little.
The
Actually,
little
you know what? I'd be a liar if I said I didn't think about buying one of those.
I didn't think about it.
I guess that is a sex toy.
I was like, I can sit this on the dresser and give it a couple humps
I mean, shit,
in hard
Oh,
times.
what?
Wake up
What
in the
are we
morning,
talking
real
about?
quick, you know what I mean? Hey, who's got to know?
Wait, that
Probably
is
better than
hilarious.
jerking off.
Yeah, I mean, it's like jerk off assistance. It's like, you know, getting a good pair of sneakers when you can go on the ball, you know, unless you cut a little better, jump a little higher. Why not?
If you,
I don't even know what y'all talking about.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I'll read it again for you, girl. Have you ever wanted to buy a sex
I heard the
toy?
question. I was still waiting for him what he said. Yeah.
oh, let me show you what shit is.
Yeah,
It's like
give me
a
his-
flashlight.
But the answer is no to the question. No, but it's because it's probably because I don't know what a flashlight is. Yeah, that's what I was about to
They got
say.
some new shit out now. too.
You know what I thought about? Remember when all the porno stars was putting out molds of their butts?
Oh my god. Yes.
Yeah, when
Flashlight, not
they
a
was
flash.
putting out molds of their butts, I thought about getting one of them for what was her name? Carmen Hayes made one.
Oh my
For,
I'm not trying to show you the flashlight. Basically, it's this thing that looks like a vagina. And, you know,
Yeah.
remember they was
All right,
putting
we
hey
going to
Trip.
see later.
I know he knows about this. Remember they were putting out the molds of the porn stars' butts with like the flashlight
whole
built in.
actual,
What? They was doing
whole-
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's crazy. Nah, I'm
Like
not,
Carmen Hayes put out one. Fucking what's the
not
other
with that.
chick? They was like, and they put the actual mold of their vaginas in the sex toy. I was intrigued by that.
Yeah, but you know what? A mold of their vaginas is probably a huge mold. That shit probably like, well, man, say
But it was
stick
like
your
it
dick
was
out
like
the window.
it was like a little toy. You could stick it on the dresser. You like, bloop.
Is it a true mold? Or is it,
Nah, it was a true mold. They showed them like sitting their butt in the fucking plaster Paris and everything.
no, it's the inside of true mold.
Yeah.
They done gone through some joints.
Oh
You know what? Okay, next question. If women are so against men cheating, why do women let men cheat with them?
They do? Oh, can you put that in context?
I'll read it
person is
again.
getting-
If women are so against men cheating, why do women let men cheat with them? So meaning, if women are so opposed to men
You ain't
cheating,
trying to have your dude cheat.
then
but you willing to
why
cheat with
do
somebody else.
these women cheat with these
Because men are slick. Because men be like, I don't really like her like that. I just want to.
No, they
that's
say
what men do.
if you participated in home wrecking, don't get mad when
Right,
your home
exactly.
gets
It's that
wrecked.
simple.
But no, it's,
It ain't even
it's
that
really
dude's
just
a slick.
asking like,
It's women that
if you
take
could
it,
be a
even if
home
you're not
wrecker,
telling them that.
then you can't go and say, "Oh, I'm against cheating," but you're a home wrecker.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the degree.
I think people are hypocrites. I don't think it has anything to do with it.
Fair enough.
I mean, listen.
Fair enough.
You know, I don't. If this was years ago, I would have
security.
agreed and said, "You're right." But I've lived a long life, and I understand that women are emotional creatures, and they act on how they feel.
Fair enough.
So that's just how they do.
So you're gonna
They act on how they
blame
feel.
Yeah.
all of them, and say that they tricked the women.
And you know, when you got a woman in her feelings, like if you got a woman in her feelings, she'll do anything for you.
That's true. That's true.
So,
I'll agree.
I'm not into bashing women for like mistakes and shit that
Yeah.
they made, you know, out of being in the feelings for a man.
It's not about
Yeah.
bashing. It's just about knowing that everybody's making choices at the end of the day.
But, you know.
So there are men that, I guess, I feel you. There are men that are going to deceive and act like, you know, they're not into the women, and that's why the women end up doing what they do. But there are also men who up front and
Who
be
keep it a
like,
buck.
yeah. And then women are down to do that too. But then they're not trying to get cheated on. So where do you fall in that category?
I think
it's
boils down.
hypocrites. You got some hypocrites and you got some conniving snakes, and they all live in the same cesspool of humans.
I think it boils down to people are selfish. When it's their relationship, they don't want to be cheated on. When it's not their relationship,
They don't give a fuck.
They don't
Right,
give a fuck.
right,
They want
right.
what's best for them.
It's
People are
capitalism.
people are inherently selfish.
Straight up.
Like I don't want to be
Simply
cheated
put.
on, but
I don't mind
I've been
doing
with
the
a
cheating.
woman who was cheating on their man. Like
Yeah.
on some. God bless her soul. When I was back in college, she used to tell her boyfriend she was at the library, she was studying late, but she was getting the pound game. So. And I didn't feel no type of way about it. But if I was on the other end of that,
Yeah,
I
like
would
it
be
was in
hurt.
college.
So people
You know, it was
are
last week.
stingy.
For sure.
Yeah. All right, Chip.
Shit, mine is crazy. Describe your sex life with a movie title.
We just did that last week. Get a new one, bro. You forgot? It wasn't last week. It's been weeks ago now, but that's what you said last time.
Fucking broken record.
Like, damn, why he don't
Come on, David Blaine, pick a new card.
All right, while we waiting for him, I'm gonna go. Would you break up with someone if they were going through financial problems? No.
Yes.
I'm going with no. Because that's petty.
Absolutely.
Shit happens. You might lose a
fuck
job
away
or
from me.
something.
Nah.
It depends on how long
if I
we
was
were
married to him, I wouldn't
together.
break up with him. But if we're in a relationship,
We would, yeah.
Dang, you
got
gonna
to
leave
go.
them because they went through some issues?
Nah, get your shit together.
It
Let's
depends
get
on,
back.
But what
like,
if they
what
went through
is the
issues
cause
just
of
happened
the
to be during while they
issue?
was with you?
No,
I mean,
but
we could be cool.
Coronavirus happened and they lost their job and the uninsurance shit got cut off and then they ain't had no money no more.
Where was you working? How you lose your job?
Yeah, wow.
Real niggas ain't getting fired. Nah.
you ain't shit.
I kept my job.
That's
Dang,
that's
everybody ain't this lucky.
Real niggas now ain't getting fired.
Nah, man. If that person is a habitually financially
Right.
problem person,
Yeah.
and I gotta sponsor them with everything, but if they just fell on hard times,
I give them time
Yeah,
because you know
yeah.
real niggas bounce back.
yeah, you can go broke and come back up real quick. So
Yeah,
I
that's-
You
want
got 3 months.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
The coronavirus.
Honestly,
been
I don't
8.
know what the fuck I would do.
All right, what's your card?
Depends on how good it. Never
You
mind.
got a new car.
Oh gosh. All right, Chip, it's your card.
All right, this is stupid. But honestly, give me another car. I don't like this.
Oh gosh.
It's boring. We just basically just talked about it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. That was the same topic.
Pick a good one.
You think it's okay to ask for money if you're constantly asked for sex?
If
Yep.
you're a prostitute.
If you're a prostitute,
That's what
I
she's
knew
gonna
you was
say.
gonna say that.
That goes to
No, I
answer
feel
if you're a
like
prostitute.
no. I feel like
if I know
that
what this is already,
question-
yeah.
I feel like
Yeah. Whatever you need.
If we end up in a
like
relationship and he
no.
just super
I feel
sexual,
like if you're
all of a sudden
fucking
you asking for
somebody,
money?
no, if you're fucking somebody consistently, like this is like the person that you're dealing with or the person that you're fucking. If you need help or if you,
How often do you need help?
why not? I mean, I don't know. That's not what the question.
So the
said.
financial problem, my
That's
question
not
comes
what the
back into
question
play.
said.
It was a
Are
little.
you leaving if she keep asking for help?
Yes.
It-
Or I'm just
it-
gonna be like, yo, listen.
So that
How
means
about
just
this?
because you
How
having
about
sex
I
don't mean you can
every
just keep
time I want
asking
some
for
sex, I'll
help.
give you a couple dollars.
Oh my
But you gotta
God,
do
that
whatever
is
I tell you to do.
prostitute.
I give up a little funky $40.
Right. What you need? $40, $50.
No, but I feel like if a
my
woman,
cousin just came in town too, so
I cannot with you. I
do not condone.
I do not condone it either. However, I just feel like if you're being intimate with someone and you're fucking this person, you should be able to at least ask if you need, or if that's like your last resort.
if we're in a relationship, then you don't have to worry about it because we talk every day. I know what's going on with you.
Okay.
But if you're
it's
just somebody
a
that I'm
fuck
fucking, bitch, stop asking me for money. That's
Look,
it.
if
I'm
you
sorry,
got-
I don't mean to say bitch.
No.
I said it.
That money is spent. That money is spent on you in drinks and entrees.
Right.
If you want money,
You hungry, bitch?
if you want money,
Stop saying bitch. I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, it's fine. This
It's
is,
late. Yo.
No, this is straight talk, no chase, and the bottle is
it's ingrained in you. You
gone.
can't help it. Look, but
I
no,
don't talk to women
the
like
money.
that, for
If the
real.
money, if you talk about money spent outside of drinks and entrees, yeah, I will not give them money outside of that. Like, what do you keep?
And don't get crazy with the entrees.
Yeah,
For real.
Y'all so stupid.
I be looking at people different when I know they broke.
like you ain't never. You don't order. You don't order surf and
That
turf.
shit yourself.
You don't order surf and turf when you ain't with me.
Right.
I cannot.
Now you go to Mastro's and you've been going to Olive Garden.
If you go to Mastro's, you better see if they got chicken fingers.
Stay to the left side of the menu. Don't get nothing market price.
You can take a picture of my plate for Instagram.
Niggas are trash.
Dog.
You take a picture of my.
My buddies, I've had that happen to me before. I'm like, why you Instagram my plate?
I cannot.
Hey man, oh my god! All right, let's get this shit
Final
over with, man.
You gotta tell me the topics.
The what?
Well,
Topics. Topic.
the first thing we talked about was Puff Daddy
Oh yeah.
and his fear of a racial war.
Oh yeah. All right. On that.
We gotta go topic for topic. I got you, man. This is
All
a
right,
team. This is a
bet.
team.
On that, my man Diddy tripping. I respect everything he's talking about. I literally, I don't want to get it misconstrued. This is what I've been saying we needed this whole time, is a party that we can like all align with and say we behind and we back and take our issues specifically to the top of that party to say, here's A, B, C, D, all the way down to Z of what we need. You pick how many of them 27 letters in that alphabet you want to, that's how many letters in the alphabet? I think so. That you want to back and be a part of, and that's where we go and send majority of our votes. So I support that. I'm with it. I think the timing is a little bit off though, because a week out, people was just mad at Ice Cube for coming up with a whole layout of things that I believe that I think we can agree should happen. Granted, it was missing some things. Granted, some things could have changed about it. But I'm not trying to knock anybody's efforts who's trying to help us out at the end of the day, because when you have a platform, you gotta use your platform for good. Everybody don't know every single way that every single person wants to use that platform if they had it, but you gotta use it to the best of your ability. So I respect the people who are trying. And so yeah, Diddy, do your thing, but the timing is off. Let's do that next week. Let's talk about it November 5th. See what happens, because today ain't the day, and it ain't gonna change anything in this week that's gonna make us feel any different than you felt a couple months ago when you legit said we not just giving away our vote. So you said that thinking that maybe you was gonna sell somebody into moving, and these white people showed you that they more powerful than you, and they don't care what you talking about. They not moving if they don't want to move. And so you set a stance. Don't back on your stance now. You gonna stick this joint through all the way through November 4th, 5th, however long it takes them to let us know who won what. And once we know what happened, then we gonna move accordingly. But I'm honestly, I don't care if y'all hate me for it. I don't care if Trump wins again. I prefer him to win. I'm all about planning and preparation and the proper way of doing it. And a month out, a week out, a couple months out ain't enough time. Let's take all 4 of these years, make something shake in these 4 years about what we should do in front of the next president, because if Trump wins again in 4 years, we have to have somebody new. So that's how I feel about that. What's the next topic?
T.I. Jeezy.
T.I. Jeezy. I'm a Jeezy fan. TM 101. I used to be riding around. I think that was like my senior year. This G with junior or senior year. I think
You got 14 bricks right there?
And I ain't had no whip. I was living on Southern Avenue. My high school youngin' at the time was driving her brother car to take us home, and the CD that he had playing in that joint faithfully was TM 101, and I respect him for that to this day. Me and him still friends. Me and her, we talk occasionally, but very rarely. But me and him still friends. That's my man. So yeah, the soundtrack in his car was
Shout out to that
101. My man Keith, you know what I'm talking about. Had that TM 101 playing, so that was my music. That was my go-to. That's the move. And the recession too, though. That played in a pivotal time of life. That was like 2008.
President Black.
2008.
Bullshit.
Yeah,
Right.
the year not Jeezy, the year Barack won. My president is black. That recession was real, bro. People was going through it. That whole album was lit.
Except that
What's
song.
next? That was it for real. We ain't talking
I mean,
about
yeah,
that.
I mean,
Oh,
cover
nah, not even the cover cards. That
And
did
we
talk
skipped
about the
Supreme Court.
judge?
We skipped Annie.
I'm glad, because we ain't had shit to talk about. Y'all know she shouldn't be in there. She ain't got no experience. They off of what they just did 4 years ago and not try to let Barack get his person in. They didn't do that, so they shouldn't have did this, and they did that, and because they control shit, that's what happens when you let people control shit. At the end of the day,
They
and
did
so
what they could do.
exactly, they did what they do when you got power, and so at the end of the day,
business as usual.
voting is important. I don't knock this whole not voting movement. I want to be very, very clear when I say about voting. Local elections are important. Vote locally. You know these people. If you don't know them, you should know them. They should be in your neighborhoods. They should be in your communities. They should be in your schools. They should be in your courthouses. They should be in your grocery stores. They should be everywhere where you are. They should be at your youth sports games. They should be wherever you see people, because they're supposed to be people too, and they're supposed to be representing you and your thoughts and your ideas and the things that you want to happen out here. And if they aren't representing that, then you need to run so that your ideas and thoughts and everything else gets represented at the end of the day. But locally, it's important, so vote. They already know how they gonna weigh in on this majority shit. And if they don't know and we can sway it, then you believe that, then go out and do what you gotta do to make something shake. But at the end of the day, we gonna lose either way, cause we've seen historically with both of these niggas, we lost either way. And so that doesn't even matter. I really don't even care. It doesn't make a difference. I want Trump to win. I'm sorry if you feel differently. I'm sorry if you don't like me for it. It's cool. I got my circle and square glasses because that's how much I care about your opinion. And so, with that being said,
The public.
I mean, that's just really how I feel. But but with that being said, in 4 years we can make something shake then, because then we can plan, prep. I'm gonna be right there on the front lines. You don't gotta worry about holding me accountable, because that's all I feel about. Feel is accountability. Like, if you're gonna say this is what we should do, make sure you're on the front lines doing it. And so that's where I'll be in these next 4 years, no matter who wins, is making sure whoever wins gets out of office and somebody better is put up for us. So we can choose that better person. Because we know we're choosing between supposedly the lesser of two evils, and y'all choose evil, I don't, so I'm not selecting a president. And with that being said, those are my final thoughts.
Maria.
Final thoughts. The whole Puffy race war thing. So I felt like that interview was like a intro to a music video. Just like how it was set up. I felt like P Diddy, formerly known as Puff Daddy. It's raining man. Hallelujah, it's raining man. I just felt like, he was just talking to be talking. it goes back to, you know, what we talked about, how these celebrities, you know, come into political campaigning almost, and they're not really doing anything. Like, they haven't really, you know, done shit. But enough on that. T.I. versus Jeezy, that's a tough battle. Very, very tough. I liked both Jeezy and T.I., all of their albums. I mean, Jeezy did have a moment where he was out of commission for a while. No one really heard anything from him. Meanwhile, T.I. has some, you know, hits. So, tough decision. What was the other topic?
You gotta make a decision. Pick a side. Jeezy or T.I. What you got?
Off the top of my head, I would say T.I.
Boo.
However, I still like Jeezy. Whatever. However, Go Get It was like, definitely, that was an era. That was like the theme song of an era. But
And locked up, won't let me out. They won't let me. It was actually a little late. They should have got that joint out the way a little earlier. Jeezy was on. That was Jeezy. It was on TM 101.
what?
Locked up.
Yes.
No, that's
Akon, champ.
Y'all want to bet me?
He on the road. That was Akon. You want to bet?
I'm glad you sound like you look pretty confident.
Bet me.
No.
I bet.
No, you're
Locked
right, I might
Up
be
was
wrong.
not on
What was the
Jeezy's album.
Jeezy featuring Akon joint?
It wasn't Locked Up.
We was looking for the
No, it
block
wasn't.
and it
Yeah,
and it
down,
top
down.
now. I
Definitely.
think I'm a rider. Soul
Yeah, because I'm a
survivor.
right,
Right.
Soul Survivor,
Either
bruh.
way. I wasn't going to bet because if you'd have bet me, I would have been like, nah, y'all seem too confident. And
See,
I would have said
whatever.
But I'm drunk. If you confident, I'm like, I ain't bet you.
I think that was it. Those are my final thoughts.
Maria came through with the cup cards once again. Cosby Digital, the man, the myth, the legend, the survivor.
Thank you. My final thoughts for tonight. I appreciate everyone who has tuned in and who's going to tune in to listen and watch the Straight Talk No Chase podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. We need to get our subscribers up. Make sure you like us on Facebook because we love and appreciate your support. Let's start off with the first topic. Diddy and his plan for a political party, the Black political party. I've been saying for a long time, I think the way forward for Black people is to have our own political party because I think we underestimate our influence in America. I don't think it's just a purely numbers game. How we influence and move culture and have always been the moral compass for America plays a big part in how American politics is won. When in terms of the biggest events in this country, the Civil War, was fought because of Black people. When you talk about the Civil Rights era, when you talk about all major things that have happened in this country, even the Vietnam War, how the support or non-support of the Black community shifted that. We have always played an essential part in American politics. And I think Diddy said something important. It's time for us to galvanize under our skin color, our delineation that America has always seen us as Black first. Whether we were gay, lesbian, Republican, Democrat, young, old, we are Black first and have always been Black first in America. So it's time for us to recognize that and galvanize around the way America sees us and gain and seize our own political leverage. Whether you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, Green, Libertarian, whatever the fact, you're still Black first. And America does not treat you by party, they treat you by color. This has always been a nation of color, a nation of culture before anything else. So I'm curious and excited to see how Diddy's plan is going to turn out. If he brings in great people to his organization and is able to establish a strong political force, I will support it because I believe the way forward politically to get any type of change in this country is to establish a strong third party politically. When it comes to Jeezy and T.I., shout out to them both. Man, if Jeezy is able to take this battle to the streets, I think he's gonna crush T.I. because he has a better track record with the street anthems.
Good switch up.
Yeah, with the street anthems, I think he has more street anthems than T.I. As far as musically, T.I. has a better catalog, has worked with better producers, and just has an overall better catalog. But as we've seen in Plenty's versus battle, the better catalog doesn't always win. We've seen that with Fabulous. We've seen that with Fabulous and Jadakiss. We've seen that with 2 Chainz and Ross. We've seen it in a lot of battles, even Monica and Brandy. We've seen it that the better catalog doesn't always win. It's like, how does the battle go? Like real time. So I'm just glad they got another good battle teed up. So I'm looking forward to watching it and reliving my college days with they hits. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Mr. Wallace.
When it comes down to we didn't really get a chance to talk about it.
Judge.
Yeah, Supreme Court. Now Supreme Court Judge Amy Coney Barrett. I would say just do a little research on her and to see why it's so important to understand how judicial politics matter, right? She's just got a lifetime appointment to the Supreme Court. So she's going to be able to affect your life for the next 30 to 40 years. So it's very important that we get an administration in that can at the very least, which is the last option, is to pack the court to get more Supreme Court justices to even it out. If the Democrats win and they control the House and Senate, they will have the ability to add to the Supreme Court. They can add 3 to 4 more judges that they choose to the Supreme Court to even it out. Because right now, it's leaning so much to the conservatives that any case that comes before the Supreme Court does not have conservative ideology doesn't have a chance. And the Supreme Court was not created to be a political body. It was supposed to judge cases on the merits and judge cases on the validity of the case, not provide an ideology. And right now, it's just another arm of the Republican or conservative wing in this country. That's my final thoughts.
Democrats wanted to do something about that. I feel like
they could have made the virus a little more. No, okay. Yo, great final thoughts for everybody this week. One more time, from Kirk, Maria to Cohen. Great viewpoints and vantage points. I'm gonna keep this quick because we gotta get the fuck out of here. As far as P Diddy goes and his political party that he wants to make, I think it's bullshit. I think a nigga pulled his collar, and I think he was pressured into making this video with Charlemagne, and you get what you paid for, right? So Diddy comes out, tries to erase everything he said just a few months prior, and tries to say at the last minute, a week before the election, that now we should vote for Joe Biden. Kiss balls, nigga. You compromised. Next topic. We did, like everyone's already mentioned, we didn't really get too much on the Supreme Court justice like we wanted to today because, I mean, it is what it is. As far as Supreme Court justices go, I'm not in panic mode because as far as I'm concerned, they all been fucked up for the past 200 years.
Lifetime.
Anyway, ain't none of them ever passed no life-changing legislation for Black Americans.
And it ain't nobody that's going to nominate that.
Brown versus the Board of Education.
That's not for. I mean, okay. So you could go
Dred Scott.
So
that didn't
you
help.
can integrate into a white school and a white
Exactly.
school can lead that
And they
white
didn't
school.
come to no black
and you'll
schools. That
still get
didn't
a
help.
fucked up education.
That didn't help.
Dred Scott.
Because the education system still
So look,
sucks.
let's just keep it 100. We know what we need to do. And Puff Daddy is just the latest nigga to fall off the train and tuck his tail between his bitch ass. No offense, Puff, but like that's what you look like.
I love
I think And you know, I noticed this, right? Because like I dealt with this kind of like in my workplace. Like I'm like the Ice Cube of like where I work. You know what I mean?
I hope your coworkers watch it.
So
You're Tom Jones.
Yeah.
when I see everybody jumping ship, so scared, trying to get off the motherfucking liberation boat.
That's why he like 3-6.
It just-
Whole lot of niggas jumping shit.
Yeah. It just, you know, whatever. It's familiar.
Very.
But you know what? I don't knock niggas for being scared. You know what I'm saying? That's how they born and raised to be.
We be
Luckily for me,
Today was a good day.
luckily for me, man, like I was raised in a household where my father taught me to speak my mind and not be a pussy. So
big fat fan.
it is what it is. As far as T.I. versus Jeezy, I mean, it'll be a trash battle because Gucci Mane's not involved. We're talking trap music. Gucci Mane's the all-time GOAT, and I think it should be a three-way death match. The two losers have to jump off a bridge, never to be heard from again. All hell Gucci Mane. As far as the other conversation we had, you guys all forgot about was greatest catalog. Like I said, Kanye West, hands down.
Oh, that wasn't a T.I. versus.
You just kind of threw that in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you know, I mean,
And that, sir, is your final thought.
nah. Hey, listen, man, let's fight. Start with Maria. No, I'm kidding. I won't fight with her.
That's a female.
That's a female.
Why you ain't shouting somebody else?
Hey, listen, we're doing some bullshit on this show. Hey, nah, we on joke time. So nah. Hey, what the fuck else we talking about?
Nothing, nigga. Bye.
Hold up. So hold up, yeah.
Fuck that
As
shit.
far as the judge goes, that's what as far as the judge goes, I mean, yo, I don't give a fuck about none of these judges.
You said that already. Yeah.
All right, man.
That's your final
When I
thought.
said,
No changes.
and when
We're
I
outta
said the
here.
Democrats could do something,
Security
hire a
fucking
better
us.
president.
They shut
Just
us
get a
down.
better president. They gonna pick the judge. Get a better president.
We out of here, man.
We gonna select the president. They gonna pick the judge. It's that simple.
My bad, man.
Straight cash, homie.